Vicks Vapo Rub and wrap yourself with the calm and soothing relief only Vicks Vapo Rub can bring. Vicks Vapo Rub, trusted soothing vapors, always there for you.
What's up? This is Riley. And a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Chicken Club sandwich is the applewood bacon. It's savory and then it's also kind of sweet. And I think the combination of bacon with chicken and Colby Jack cheese, it just really knocks it out of the park.
Hey, I'm Tanea. A little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Chicken Club sandwich is the chicken. It's so juicy. It's grilled to perfection. I'm going to devour this sandwich.
Order the Grilled Chicken Club sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
If you missed Pirate Radio Live, you missed
Tyler Snead.
Yeah, I was excited to run it. I knew I had to throw it because Josiah can just fly. So I tried to throw it as far as I could and let him go get it.
And it worked to perfection. Did it work that well at practice? Did you guys hit it like that every time?
Well, I actually underthrew him in practice because he's so fast. So I was like, when I get in the game, I'm going to have to throw it like with everything I got. So, I tried to do that, and he just ran under. I don't think there's a way you can overthrow him.
Pirate Radio Live, weekdays from 3 to 6, right here on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
When your family gathers around a shakaroni from Papa John's, you're sharing more than extra cheese and pepperoni. You're sharing scholarships, meals, and laughter. Because $1 from every shakaroni goes to charity. That's pizza with a purpose.
Hey, Pirate fans, the Shakaroni Pizza is back, and only for $13. Plus $1 from every purchase goes to charity. The Shakaroni is an MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
The Brian Bailey Show.
Robert Jones.
I think there's a lot of talent on that football team. And sometimes it's just not about the talent. It's a matter of whether you want to get the job done or not. When we played the Peach Bowl year, I just know that my approach, Jeff's approach, Luke Fisher, the Deion Johnson, we were just wanting to go out and beat everybody's behind.
The Brian Bailey Show, Mondays at noon, right here on Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
Guess what, Greenville? Calzones are back. Community Calzone is the only restaurant in town specializing in calzones. Choose from over 50 different calzones, or you design your own with unlimited options, including vegetarian. Community Calzone also features wings, huge salads, and more. Plus, they deliver to almost everywhere in Pitt County. Located on Greenville Boulevard next to Ashley Furniture Warehouse, they're open for lunch, dinner, and late night for dine-in, pickup, or delivery. It's Community Calzone.
Are you suffering from anxiety, sleep issues, or chronic pain? Have you heard of CBD? You can learn about the benefits of CBD right here in Greenville at the Hemp Garden. Hemp Garden offers a variety of products and solutions that are truly making a difference in our community. Hemp Garden also provides products that can assist with energy and focus. Have a pet? Come check out their selection of CBD pet products. Visit Hemp Garden to speak with a CBD specialist in a relaxed and welcoming environment today. Exclusive discounts are offered to first-time customers. Hemp Garden, located at 3040 South Evans Street in the Target Shopping Center in Greenville.
When a storm hits, you can count on Greenville Utilities. They put their emergency storm plan into action to restore power as quickly and safely as possible. If you experience an outage, call them toll-free at 1-855-767-2482. The automated hotline can handle a large number of calls at once, virtually eliminating busy signals, so help can be on the way as fast as possible. Remember, GUC's emergency hotline number is 1-855-767-2482. East Coast Grading and Utilities is your source for clearing, hauling dirt, and concrete work. East Coast Grading and Utilities handles all sewer and water issues as well.
I'm David Vaughn. Whether putting in a new subdivision or helping you with any and all of your drainage problems, I can get the job done. Call me at 531-7494.
No job is too big or too small. East Coast Grading and Utilities. Friends helping friends. 531-7494 for East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Jamie Cuccinella, inviting you and your family to come by Cuccinella's Pizzeria and Italian Ice. Cuccinella's has been serving our special family recipe New York-style pizza since 1932. We think you'll taste the difference in just one bite. When you come in for a pie, don't forget to try our house-made Italian ice or gelato. We make small batches every day from scratch with all fresh ingredients. Cuccinella's on Old Tar Road across from Plant and See, Cuccinellas.com, and on Facebook and Instagram.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the pirate nation.
Purple and gold, they are not just colors. They represent a nation of people from all walks of life coming together as one, who are loyal to the code of what it means to be a pirate. A nation of pirates who have a chip on their shoulder, that show grit and determination in times of adversity, and showing a burning loyalty to their crew. Purple and gold are our colors, colors that brand us as pirates. Just as the colors were raised by the pirates that sailed our coast before us, it's our time to do the same, to signal a rallying cry to all pirates. No retreat, no surrender, no quarter. We are the pirates of ECU.
Pirate fans, get ready. It's time to talk ECU football on the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Brought to you by Bud Light. The Pirate Radio sports teams will get you ready with a game-winning strategy, live reports from the stadium, a breakdown of all the X's and O's, and all the scores and previews of other games around the country. Let's get ready. It's time for Pirate football on the voice of the Pirate Nation. Now live from the Pirate Radio studios, the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate is on the air.
Welcome to Week 3 of the 2021 ECU football season. The Pirates set for their first true road game of the season as they head to Huntington, West Virginia to face the 2-0 Marshall Thundering Herd. We are here with you for the next 4 hours on the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, taking you up to the 6 o'clock kickoff. Coming up on today's show, you'll hear from both head coaches, Mike Houston on the Pirates side, Charles Huff on the Marshall side, the first-year head coach of the Herd. Billy Weaver will join us in hour number 1, give his thoughts on this contest, and we'll hear from the play-by-play voice of the Thundering Herd, Steve Cotton. Hour 2 of today's show, we'll talk about all the games going on across the country and what's coming up tonight from a gambling perspective with the big man on campus, Jeff Nadeau. ECU offensive coordinator Donnie Kirkpatrick goes one-on-one with Jeff Charles. Also, Ronnie Woodward, live from Huntington, will be on the program as well. Double B is in Huntington, West Virginia. We'll talk to Brian Bailey at 4 o'clock. Also in the 4 o'clock hour, the voice Jeff Charles will join us live from Jones C. Edwards Stadium. Stephen Igo, Hoist the Colors, will be a part of today's show as well, as will the voice of Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium, Morgan Ehlers. He joins us at 5 o'clock. You'll hear from ECU defensive coordinator Blake Harrell, Brian North from WCTI 12 as well. We got Shirley Rhodes, Chandler Honeycutt, the big dog, Glenn Griffin, and some awesome pizza from Cuccinelli's. So we are all set to go here on a 4-hour edition of the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, and we'll pop the top on the Week 3 edition of the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate next.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
At US Cellular, we believe you should get more of the latest 5G technology for less of your hard-earned money. Right now, get up to $1,200 off any 5G phone. The choice is yours. Any of our 5G phones with no trade-in or hidden fees. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for US Cellular since 1997. Visit atlanticwireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
I can't live another day without air conditioning. Either you get it fixed or I'm out of here.
What? We have fans. Come on, hon. It's not that bad.
I am hot. The kids are hot. Even the dog is hot. Get the AC fixed or get a new train system installed.
Fine. I'll call Delcor, the service professionals. Is that okay, babe?
Yes. Just do it. Like now. Replace our old system or else I may replace you.
Okay. I'll call today and get a new train system because, you know, it's hard to stop a train.
Mom, are you really going to replace Dad?
No, he just needs to know who's boss around here.
You're the boss, Mom.
Right now, get $50 off your AC repair by mentioning the code #BeCool. Or go to DelcorINC.com for special train financing offers.
Delcor, the service professionals and marriage savers.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get an all-new 2021 Buick Envision and save over $3,000 or 0% financing for 72 months. And as always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty on all new and pre-owned vehicles.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, pirates supporting pirates.
This is Xavier Smith, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back for the latest breaking news, interesting stories, and awesome contests that can make you a winner. Be sure to follow Pirate Radio on our social media on Facebook and Instagram at PR927FM. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it is at FreePR927FM. Join the close to 50,000 followers today. Now let's head back in to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
All righty. I've already got the question a lot this week. I just got it for the first time today. Just received a text from a Pirate Radio regular guest saying, "How can I find the game?"
I knew it.
Anybody want to take a guess on who sent me that text?
Mully.
Hate to throw somebody under the bus. It wasn't Mully.
He's a Pirate Radio
regular.
Regular?
Yeah.
Bryce.
That is correct.
Didn't we discuss this on Wednesday?
I got my guide on my TV, and
Where is Facebook
I
channel?
see all the games. I see ESPN. And
Bryce, if you can navigate Facebook,
NBC Sports
Is it
Network.
ESPN
and find
Facebook?
no,
ESPN
if you can navigate Facebook, Bryce, if you go to our Pirate Radio page, we actually have a post that has the link up on there. So you just do that little clicky thing, and it'll take you right where you need to go, brother.
I'll have to get on Anna's Facebook page. I don't ever get on mine.
Do I have to use my own?
Do I
or
have
can
to
I
use my own to
Anna's?
watch the game?
Look, not to make fun of anyone because it is confusing, very confusing. Chad in our Facebook Live chat said that he told me he was going to text me. So I guess I should have been prepared for this one. What's the best? I'm just going to send him the direct link. I think that'd be the best way to go about this, right?
I agree.
So yeah, folks, this game is not on TV. This is a weird one. It's going to be on Facebook. It's Facebook, and we put have we posted it today
Yes.
on our stuff? So
I know on Facebook. I don't know about Twitter. Check the Twitter profile, but I know it's up on Facebook.
But it's like Facebook.com/CUSA Live, something like that. So just search Conference USA or CBS Sports, and you will find the game and be able to watch it on Facebook. It'll be a nice production and everything. The problem is you can't turn and channel surf and find it on your TV. Appreciate Shirley Rhodes eating in the camera, being a part of today's show.
Sorry.
Look,
this is good.
Show it off, baby. Show it off.
Shout out the Cucinellas.
I'm telling you, this right here, I may eat all of them back there.
And you know I had to go straight for the buffalo chicken pizza, and man, it is delicious.
Buffalo chicken pizza. We got.
I've already had a piece of that.
The all the meats on a pizza and a pepperoni, and then we got the specialty house-made Italian ice or gelato which we're trying to figure out which one we're eating right now.
I think that's gelato.
Shirley,
I don't care.
It don't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's
what it's
so
called.
good.
But it is awesome. Cucinella's, Old Tar Road, across from Plant and C. Cucinellas.com on
I think
Facebook
this
and
one
Instagram.
is strawberry watermelon because
Yeah.
it's like I get
Watermelon.
hints of strawberry but it tastes more like watermelon. And since I don't know which flavor is which back there, I'm just going to kind of taste test them all. So you guys are screwed on that deal. But anyway, this one quite good.
It's game day, so pizza is always a winner, and it's a nice hot day outside. So
And I was
that
moving
gelato
furniture all morning.
is
so
a winner.
This hits the spot.
Yeah, Cucinella's. They'll serve you right, as they did us here in the Pirate Radio studios. All right, coming up, we'll talk to Billy Weaver live in just a moment. Also hear from the play-by-play voice of the Marshall Thundering Herd, Steve Cotton. Saw a great picture from ECU Athletics earlier today. They had a ton of guys. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, probably 25 to 30 men from the 1970 ECU football team that paid their respects to the Marshall Memorial at Spring Hill Cemetery this morning. So that's really cool to have all those guys together and there to remember and honor, I guess, such a tragic event that ties these two teams together on the football field. It's been a great series as well, and of late, if the game's being played here in Greenville, I like the Pirates' chances to win. If it's in Huntington, Marshall has had the edge, and Marshall has the edge today. They are a 10-point favorite, at least at last check. I'll get an update on that. But they are the favorite right now, heading into this one by 10 or so points. And part of that is because ECU hadn't hit the 20-point mark yet this season. 19 week 1, 17 week 2. And Mike Houston talked about the offensive struggles earlier this week.
Well, I mean, I think some of the issues are the personnel we faced. Some of the other issues are, it's a variety of things. You can look at Holton. I mean, I know a lot of people want to blame him for everything, but that's not the case. I mean, I think that certainly there's some things he can do better. I think there's half a dozen decisions he can be more disciplined with that puts us in better situations. But I think we've also got to play better around him. You had some drops there on Saturday on some big downs. You had a couple of times where they got some pressure on him when we had receivers open. So I think that we've got to do a better job altogether of execution. Now, I did think we did some better things. I thought our offensive line played much better on Saturday. I thought we did a really good job in the run game most of the day. Able to get Rajay and Keaton, open a little bit more than we did in the opener in running the football. So I think it's a combination of things. But I do know this, standing on that field, those corners that they had, their front seven, there were plays that we would have, and just the speed of their defense would just erase them. What you would think was going to be a 12-yard gain would be a 3-yard gain. What you would think was going to be a first down would be a fourth down. I thought Snead had the first down on the sideline right here in the third quarter, and all of a sudden, it just gets erased. And so there's a reason why those guys are, playing in that conference. There's a reason why those ends are, going to be very high draft picks, and why they're so highly rated coming out of high school.
All right, Mike Houston there on some of the issues offensively. Part of it has been the opponent. The other part has certainly been different pieces of the East Carolina offense. And the $1 million question that was asked to Donnie Kirkpatrick this week, asked to Mike Houston as well. How do you kind of recapture the magic from the SMU game last year when the Pirates were firing on all cylinders? We just have not seen that so far this season. We've seen some big plays. Keaton Mitchell week 1, Snead Hatfield week 2, but it has been far from consistent and been more consistently bad than good thus far. And Mike Houston talked about that.
Well, I mean, I think we're all trying to to find that magic, and you're all trying to find that execution. There's some pieces that aren't here that were here last year, but the bulk of them are here. The bulk of our roster is that played in that ball game is on the field right now for us. So the challenge is just for us to play better. Like I said in the answer in the first question, we've played against two really good defenses, and that was a challenge on Saturday. But obviously, we have to play much better, and we've got to score points. If we want to do the things that we want to do.
All right, ECU head football coach Mike Houston. He also gave his more thoughts on Holton Ahlers through 2 games of the 2021 season.
I mean, I think that I've seen him make some really good throws. The frustrating thing is some of the throws that he put on the money that we didn't come up with a catch on Saturday. I think I've seen some situations where he just needs to have a little bit more discipline with his decision making. And he's, Donnie points it out to him in film. But it's not everything, on him. I think, it's the reality of the position is this. And I told him this when I got hired. When things are going well, he's going to get a lot of the credit, even when he doesn't deserve a lot of it. When things aren't going well, he's going to get a lot of the blame because he touches the ball every snap, and that's just part of being a quarterback. So, he's motivated to play better. He's motivated to help lead us to victory. So I know that he'll get those things corrected.
Mike Houston gave his thoughts on the 2-0 Marshall Thundering Herd, a win over North Carolina Central last week. They took care of Navy week 1. They are perfect on the year. This will be their toughest test, but have looked good so far. Here's what Mike Houston had to say about the Herd.
Well, I think we've got to play a very complimentary game. I think it's, all hands on deck, going into a game like this. Certainly, they're an extremely experienced older team that's won a lot. Doc Holliday did a really good job there for a decade. And, this is a team that won 7 games last year. We're ranked in the top 20. A lot of explosive athletes that have a lot of experience. The quarterback, he's a third-year kid. He mid-year, what would have been, right when I was hired here. So, he was the newcomer of the year in the league last year. And he's really, I've been very impressed with him. He's a good athlete, runs well, can really throw it, has great arm talent. He really rips it now. So, the same offensive coordinator he's had the whole time he's been there. So, Coach Huff retained the OC, and I just think they're playing very, very well right now. So, we've got to play well defensively. We've got to play well offensively. We've got to play well on special teams. We've just got to play a very complimentary game in order to get the win on Saturday.
And finally, Mike Houston gave his thoughts on the first true road game of the year. It was a good atmosphere in Charlotte. Some Pirate fans there today. It's going to be mostly folks in green cheering on the Herd, and he talked about that.
Well, I think we gotta prepare for a loud, hostile environment. That's the reputation that Marshall has. They've got a lot of history of winning there. They have a rabid fan base, much like ours. It's a 6:00 kickoff. I would expect that me and the kids will get called every name under the sun when we take the field, and I think it's going to be a loud, challenging environment. So we're doing everything we can to prepare for that this week at practice. I think that the coaching staff that has been there and have a good bit of history in that stadium, they understand what it's going to be. So they'll help us prepare the players for Saturday night.
All right, there is ECU head football coach Mike Houston. We'll hear from Marshall head coach Charles Huff a little later on the Bud Light pregame tailgate. We'll take a break. As we do, we'll run over some scores real quick on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard. The great thing about a 6:00 kickoff is there's a lot of games for us to watch and follow. We'll have finals from the 12 o'clock window and also the first half of the 3:30 window to watch right here while we do our show here today on Pirate Radio. Oklahoma has a 14-3 lead in the third quarter over Nebraska. Cincinnati is trailing 14-10 against Indiana as they are now in the third quarter. Hoosiers with the lead and the ball at the moment. West Virginia taking it to Virginia Tech 24-7 in the third quarter. Michigan State has a lead on the road against Miami. 10-7 is that score. So we'll keep you up to date on what's going on across the country in college football.
Da Buck.
He's been waiting all morning, all day for that.
Well, you'll be
since he missed it yesterday.
You'll be doing that a lot throughout today's show because we have a lot of scores to keep you up to date on, including Army beating UConn 48-7.
What a shocker.
Shirley has finished her gelato.
Wow.
Took it to the dome.
To the dome.
There's more in the freezer.
I know.
You're well
Show
aware.
them again, Shirley.
Huh?
Show them the cup again.
Oh, yeah. It's gone.
Wow.
The whole time.
That's one down. Let's see how many more she can get.
Well,
down.
there's 4, 5, 6, 7 more. Y'all don't claim them. I'm eating them.
The Joey Chestnut of Gelato, Shirley Rose. All right, let's take a break.
Why do you think I need the extra sizes in my pants?
We'll take a timeout. Billy Weaver joins us on the other side. We'll get his thoughts on ECU and Marshall when we return on the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. We're rolling on after this.
Well, the secret is out. CD's Grill has the best breakfast in Greenville. Start your day with a made-to-order breakfast Monday through Saturday at CD's Grill. Plus, you can enjoy lunch Monday through Friday. And their lunch specials are always a huge hit. Monday, it's barbecue chicken. Tuesday, pork tenderloin and gravy. Wednesday, chicken and pastry. Thursday, barbecue pork chops. And Friday, it's spaghetti. CD's Grill on Fire Tower Road in Winterville, near Evans Street. Stop by CD's Grill for the best country cooking around.
Public notice, Discount Master Furniture, Greenville, 1501 Evans Street. Everything must go up to 75% off. Living rooms, bedrooms, dinettes, purple swivel chairs, ECU, $99. Desk chairs, $10. Queen mattresses, $199. Sofas, much more. Discount Master Furniture up to 75% off. 1501 Evans Street in Greenville, and I'll see you there!
UBE and PirateWear.com is excited to offer Pirate Nation the largest selection of new ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young Pirates in to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kids store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking uptown in Greenville. Visit them at PirateWear.com. Go Pirates!
Hello, this is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now's the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage at historically low rates. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Holt Nailers, and I couldn't do my job without my offensive line keeping me safe. Make sure your employees are safe by using ArcPoint Labs for your medical testing needs. From pre-employment testing to COVID test, ArcPoint Labs is there to serve Eastern North Carolina with accurate, reliable, confidential testing. Schedule an appointment at any of their 6 Eastern North Carolina locations or visiting them online at arcpointlabs.com. Go Pirates!
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Jamie Cuccinella, inviting you and your family to come by Cuccinella's Pizzeria and Italian Ice. Cuccinella's has been serving our special family recipe New York-style pizza since 1932. We think you'll taste the difference in just one bite. When you come in for a pie, don't forget to try our house-made Italian ice or gelato. We make small batches every day from scratch with all fresh ingredients. Cuccinella's on Old Tar Road across from Plant and See, Cuccinellas.com, and on Facebook and Instagram.
This is Mike Houston, head football coach at East Carolina University, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Watch all of Pirate Radio's local programming on YouTube Live. Go to YouTube and search for Pirate Radio TV, and you can just subscribe. You can watch Pirate Radio live Monday through Friday from 3 until 6. And, of course, you're watching the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, and you can watch the U.S. Cellular 5th Quarter on game days as well. All you got to do is go to YouTube, search Pirate Radio TV, and click on the subscribe button. Now let's head back in to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
All right, rolling right along. Hour number 1 of the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. We'll hear from the Marshall side of things with Steve Cotton coming up in just a little bit. He's the play-by-play voice of the Thundering Herd. We are primed and ready to go today thanks to Cucinella's. And if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook Live, check out this pizza pie. And anybody can put together some dough and cheese and throw some meats on and, call it a pizza. But these are premium meats. The sausage on this thing has a little kick to it.
They have the meats.
They got, somebody says that. Pepperoni, bacon, sausage. This thing is awesome.
That is a meat monster.
Sure, relax. Shirley had the gelato, took it to the Dome earlier. Thanks to Cucinella's. You can find them on Old Tar Road across from Plant and Sea, Cucinellas.com, and on Facebook and Instagram. Check that out for your game day viewing party. All right, let's head out to the Fixed NC Live line. We'll save Billy a slice or two as Billy Weaver will be here after the game on the U.S. Sailor 5th Quarter Call-In Show. Weave, happy game day to you. How you doing, man?
Man, happy game day. I'm doing good to you. Can you hear this? Can you hear this 6.4 liter engine in this Dodge Challenger that I'm driving? I don't know if you can hear it.
We'll say yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
You can't. I'm inside, so you don't hear it as much.
Aren't you supposed to be selling it and not driving it?
So look. Let me tell you something. I'm one of those guys. I'm not going to sell somebody something I haven't driven myself. So I've got somebody coming to look at this later, actually in about a half an hour or so, that's very interested in purchasing it.
So Billy's taking on one last drive before he has to give it away.
I got to make sure it's got gas in it, it's ready to go, and, I can know what I'm talking about.
Well, and that's another great sales pitch. It's been driven by Billy Weaver.
That's right.
Billy has to make sure that the get up and go is going to get up and go.
That's right, and hadn't got up and went.
That's right.
That's like on Seinfeld when they bought John Voight's car. Seinfeld reference for all of you that watch that show.
Oh, yeah.
Billy, what's the Weaver confidence level at this Saturday as we sit 3.5 hours away from kickoff?
Probably about as confident as everybody else. I mean, you are cautiously optimistic, can I say? Because it's been a tough road for East Carolina the first couple games. It's been the offense just can't get clicking. We talked about that ad nauseum. I'm cautiously optimistic because the defense played so well last time. They're going to have to play well again against Marshall. Marshall's offense has put it up a ton of numbers. Of course, against Navy, who's not the Navy that we know. And North Carolina A&T. So that kind of is what it is, but still, they're putting up a ton of numbers, and East Carolina's defense is going to have to play very well.
Billy, how many trips have you made to Huntington over the years?
Ooh, I don't know exactly how many, but a few. Probably 5 or 6, maybe.
Yeah, I've always heard. I mean, you were, from a media capacity there, but I've always heard the Marshall fans, like if you polled the Pirate Nation, would be like top 3, top 5 opposing fan base, maybe number 1, from what I've heard anyway. Would you agree with that?
I would absolutely agree. And you know what the funny thing about that is? The polar opposite of Marshall is West Virginia.
Right there in the same state.
Yeah. Same state. Yeah. I've been to Morgantown and I've been to Huntington, both worlds apart. Huntington is a great place to go. The Marshall fans are absolutely awesome, have always been. And whenever we rolled in there, it was always, good luck. You guys got a good team. You guys got a good coach, or whatever it had be, or what it was at the time. When we were there with Skip, they loved Skip, and so it was always a great experience for ECU fans and players and coaches to go up to Huntington. Totally different in Morgantown, man. They'll spit on you and throw beer on you and throw batteries and call you every name in the book. Not that way in Huntington.
Billy Weaver joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. Quite a test for the Pirates today as they take on the 10-point favorite Marshall Thundering Herd. And you said one of the reasons, and maybe the only reason to be optimistic at this point, is the defensive performance last week. How about on offense? What do you want to see different today? What can the Pirates do different today that they didn't do last week to move the ball and put some points on the board?
Yeah, they definitely got to move the ball. I mean, I I wasn't. It's not like I wasn't pleased with the running game. I think the running game was pretty good. We need to get more. I think more short passing situations to get an extension of that running game and get guys out in space and get them making plays. And Clip, you and I had talked about this like over and over again. I want to see two things from this offense. One that we talked about in the post-game show is some sort of identity. I want to know what we are offensively. Are we a running team? Are we a passing spread option? What are we? What exactly are we? So I want to see a little bit more identity from ECU, and I want to see some more, a little bit more up-tempo. That and allowing Holton to kind of be himself and do what Holton does. Don't be afraid to let him run. I mean, he's a running quarterback. When things break down, he has the ability to run. I mean, he takes some shots. That's just the way it is. And I don't think as a coach or as players or anybody should be afraid of that. Go out there kind of, because this is what you got to do. Tonight, you have to let it all hang out, because if there was ever a must-win, this is it. You can say every game is a must-win, especially for East Carolina when you're in the situation that there are, but they cannot go 0-3. They go 0-3 and come back to Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium, there might be 20,000 people in the stands.
Yeah, might be a sparse crowd next week for Charleston Southern as East Carolina will wrap up their non-conference play. And we were saying before the year, you got to find a way to go 2-2 in September. The only way to do that now is to win this football game today against Marshall. Billy Weaver joining us, and this might be old news at this point. It's the first time I saw it come across the bottom line, but some bad news down in Orlando. Dylan Gabriel, a broken clavicle, suffered on the last play of the game last night. UCF lost on the road to Louisville, so they are going to have to deal with some quarterback issues down there. We've Gus Malzahn in year one, and just something to keep an eye on a few weeks from now, because it goes, let's see, Marshall, Charleston Southern, Tulane, and then UCF. So UCF going to try to, it appears, work in a new quarterback until they can get Dylan Gabriel back. We've final thoughts on this one. What kind of score are you anticipating today? High score, low score? What do you think?
Well, I think to win, East Carolina's got to score in the 30s. I really do, because, from everything that Marshall has shown me, they can move the ball offensively. Like I mentioned earlier, it's, they haven't played world beaters. They haven't played Alabama and Georgia, SEC teams or anything like that. So that kind of is what it is, but you can take that for what it's worth. I'm just a big proponent. If you're playing on this level of college football, to put up, I think they put up 692 yards their quarterback has in the first two games of the season, something like that. To do that against the local high school is hard to do. So they're going to move the football, and I think you have to outscore them. Defense definitely has to come up with some big stops, and if I had to put a number on it, I'd think in the 30 to 28 range is where this game could be.
Billy Weaver will be here alongside on the U.S. Sailor fifth quarter call-in show after the game today. We want to hear from Screamin' Joe. We want to hear more about Dale's Day, Parker Bunch, all the folks, Billy. Hopefully we'll have a fun edition of the post-game show this afternoon.
Yeah, I hope this time we're not telling people to not jump off the Green Street Bridge, put the alcohol down, and, take a breath and all that. Hopefully we're talking about a Pirate victory, because like I said, the Pirates desperately need that, and I think the fan base needs that to be able to have some confidence that, okay, these guys can get it done. We can turn this season around. We could get that 6 wins. I think most fans, they would be ecstatic with 6 wins in a bowl game appearance, and it doesn't matter what bowl it is.
Yeah.
And I think you got to get on the road to that and give people, not only your players confidence, but the people in the stands and the fans confidence that this team, can get some wins under their belt.
Billy, we were still looking for his first victory post-game show, and hopefully we'll get it coming up tonight.
Okay, let me ask you this, and I know I don't want to put any jinx or juju or negative juju or anything like that, but if for some reason the Pirates were to go 0 would I get fired at the end of the season? Is that possible?
I would say, yeah. I think at that point it'd be time, and nothing against you, but we got to do something different, right? And I'd be right there with you. I'm out the door too, so.
I know. I don't think that's going to happen, but I tell you what, it's not. I'm ready for my first. Well, I was about to say my first fun show. I take that back. That's not a correct statement. I've had fun despite the 0-2 start.
Yeah.
But I will definitely have much more fun after a win.
How about the freaking Washington football teams win the other night?
Yeah, we didn't talk about that.
Yeah.
How about Washington? Man, that was awesome. I tell you what, when Heineke threw the interception in the fourth quarter, I thought, oh no, it's over. It's over.
Yeah.
And you know what? And to tell you the truth, he was playing very well enough at that point, and I didn't have a problem with that interception. I don't know what you thought about it, but
I had a problem with the play call. Antonio Gibson had just ran it twice. All you had to do was run out the clock. I had a major problem with them throwing the football.
Okay, but what I didn't have as much a problem. What I want to say is I didn't put as much on Taylor Heineke in that situation, because what happened is when the receiver ran his route, he kind of got into a mix-up with the other DB, went around him. So it was a timing play that just got kind of broken up by the defense. So, I hate that it happened, but I thought, you know what? A young quarterback, those plays, that's tough. That's a tough one on a young quarterback. And then I thought to myself, too, when they got the ball back, I'm thinking, there's no way Taylor Heineke's going to move this ball down the field and get them in position to win this game. And lo and behold, man, he played great. And then, of course, you line up for the kick, and I'm thinking, oh, no, there's no way he's going to make it. He misses it, and there's a penalty, and I'm thinking, you got to be kidding. Like, the Giants are giving us this game. And it was big for Washington. It was a big moment for me.
It was awesome, man. We got an all-pro receiver. It was great to see Scott Turner and Washington use him. 11 catches for McLaurin. Defense still hadn't really shown up much in 2021. Hopefully that'll get better, and if so, we might have a fun 2021.
Yeah. So how about this? The Vegas odds and lines or whatever, when they do their fantasy lines and odds and things like that, when picking fantasy football players and defenses and stuff, has gone down drastically on the Washington defense, showing that Vegas now has no confidence in their defense.
Well, they hadn't shown much the first 2 weeks, but I do think they will improve and hopefully be a strength for this team. We've enjoyed it, man. We will see you after the game on the U.S. Sailor 5th Quarter Call-In Show. Have fun driving around.
All right, man. We'll see you.
There is Billy Weaver joining us. Indiana leads Cincinnati 14-10 on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard. Cincinnati just kicked a field goal, but I believe it was a illegal formation. So now they will either kick again or punt. I don't know where they are on the field. It's a 4th and 1 situation. So we'll keep you up to date on this game, still in the third quarter, and all the other action going on today across college football. A ton of confusion going on the field right now. It looks like Cincinnati's going to go for this on 4th and 1. Desmond Ridder is on the field. We'll keep you up to date on that and everything else, and we'll hear from Steve Cotton, the play-by-play voice of the Marshall Thundering Herd, when we return on the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. We are back with you after this.
Hey Pirates, this is Holt Nailers. A big part of my success on the field is what I eat at home. To keep my body filled up, I order meals off a Clean Eats meal plan. I choose the meals I want from 6 different meals offered each week, and I pick them up on Sunday or Monday at the cafe on Red Banks Road. Each meal is packed with the perfect mix of healthy proteins, carbs, and veggies to keep my engine running at full speed. Go to CleanEats.com, click on meal plans, or stop by the cafe and get all the info. Clean Eats and the Pirates, a winning combination.
In studio with Gloria from Kinetic Physical Therapy. Gloria, what is cryotherapy?
Cryotherapy is when your body is exposed to extremely cold but therapeutic temperatures for several minutes. It has many benefits, including decreased pain, decreased inflammation, increased energy, and improved overall wellness. That's why at Kinetic Physical Therapy and Wellness, we offer a wide variety of services, including cryotherapy. So whether you're an athlete or whether you just want to give your health a boost, cryotherapy will help to ensure that you're feeling great and living well. So come chill with us and you'll be back for more.
Have you been waiting to try CBD? ENS Hemp on Fire Tower Road in Greenville is the area leader in CBD. We want to educate you on how our products work with your endocannabinoid system. These products are all natural and non-addictive. ENS offers a variety of products to meet your needs. Tinctures, edibles, topicals, and even smokable items. Customer feedback indicates relief from stress, anxiety, fatigue, pain, and PTSD, just to name a few. ENS Hemp is located on Fire Tower Road. Also, check us out on our Instagram and Facebook pages.
I'm Michael Vaughn with East Coast Grading and Utilities. Many of you know my dad, David Vaughn, and his work in putting in subdivisions all over Pirate Nation. But East Coast Grading and Utilities is not just for those type of big jobs. We're here for the homeowners. Whether it's concrete, driveways, hauling rock, or sand, whatever you need, East Coast Grading and Utilities can get the job done. Call us at 252-531-7494 or check us out on Facebook at East Coast Grading and Utilities.
Hello, this is Michael McGraw from Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center of Greenville. We offer a variety of services including arthroscopic surgery, sports medicine, carpal tunnel and general orthopedics, fracture care, total joint replacement, physical therapy, and on-site MRIs. For experienced professional medical care, visit our office on W.H. Smith Boulevard in Greenville and online at orthoeast.com. Orthopedics East providing services to ECU and Pitt County Athletics for over 35 years. Go Pirates!
Come pop a top this ECU football season at Jarvis Street Bottle Shop. Jarvis Street Bottle Shop is a specialty shop selling craft, domestic, and import brews, along with wine and growlers. Hosting a tailgate? Stop by the shop and grab a keg for your party or event. The Bottle Shop offers monthly beer and wine tastings featuring rotating NC craft breweries, along with live music and discounts. Stop by the shop Tuesday through Sunday or check them out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
This is Big John Williams, strength and conditioning coach for East Carolina football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show. Now, with the Pirate Radio scoreboard, here's Shirley Rhodes.
All right, let's take a look at games going on right now. A lot of them in the fourth quarter. Boston College has a 21-3 lead over Temple. Cincinnati scored a touchdown. They now lead Indiana 17-14. Coastal Carolina has a 28-17 lead over Buffalo in the fourth. Michigan State has a lead over number 24 Miami 17-7 in the third. Number 3 Oklahoma has a 23-9 lead over Nebraska in the fourth. Michigan is beating up on Northern Illinois 63-3 is that score in the fourth quarter. Texas A&M is having a comfortable lead over New Mexico 34-0 is that score. Virginia Tech trails West Virginia 27-7. And Army all over UConn 49-14 is that score in the fourth quarter in a game that has already begun. Number 12 Notre Dame will take on Purdue. And that is your Buck scoreboard, brought to you by the Buccaneer Music Hall as your beacon of music in the land of the Pirates in eastern North Carolina. The Buccaneer Music Hall is open from noon until 2 a.m. with live music every night, and now during football season, they have food trucks during the day. Follow the Buck on Facebook and Instagram for an updated schedule, and we'll see you at the Buck. Now let's head back into the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
Indiana with a big shot down the field, and they're going to have it 1st and 10 just outside the red zone as the Hoosiers trailing now 17-14. Cincinnati able to cash in a touchdown during our break, but Indiana right back down the field, and the Hoosiers looking to answer. Some great football action going on right now. We got Bama, Florida coming up at 3:30. We'll keep an eye on that one and all the other action right here on the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Sorry, Chandler. Da Buck. When other games are going on, I get really distracted and forget to say da Buck.
Did you see me over here just with puppy eyes looking at you?
I felt you staring at me, and then I looked over to confirm you were staring me down.
I was waiting for him to do it, so I even slid my headphones
I didn't
up
want to interrupt him. He was in the groove.
Yeah, well, he was in a groove, but I was just waiting for you to do it, so I moved my headphones so it wouldn't blow my eardrums out.
Cincinnati 17, Indiana 14. Hoosiers are driving. All right, let's wrap up hour number 1 of the Bud Light pregame tailgate by hearing some of the interview with Steve Cotton that was conducted a couple of days ago. He joined me on Pirate Radio Live, and Steve talked about all things Marshall, the offense, defense, special teams, and about the team as a whole in 2021. Let's hear some of that conversation. when Marshall comes here, the Pirates have gotten the better of the herd. When ECU travels to Huntington, Marshall has had the better of the Pirates. And right now, Marshall a favorite heading into this game on Saturday with a 2-0 record. Pirates come in 0-2. And I guess that's the way you want to start, Steve, as a first-year head coach. Get 2 wins under your belt in convincing fashion. 93-17, the combined scores for Marshall's first 2 wins. And things going good early on in the Charles Huff era, it appears.
They are, but there's a big caveat there. You still worry that it could be a little bit of fool's gold because Navy is obviously struggling right now, is not the Navy that you expect to see in recent times under Ken Niumatalolo. So they're struggling, and then the game against North Carolina Central last week. We will learn much more about what Marshall has and what Marshall is right now Saturday and then next Thursday night when Marshall plays at Appalachian State. Those will tell the truth much more than those first 2 games did.
Yeah, really intrigued about that App State game coming up next week. We saw them in the season opener, and they, as you know, Steve, a very good football team. And not to start with the negative here, but you threw in that big but. It is crazy to see the amount of times Marshall has put the ball on the ground and the interceptions, the turnovers, and yet they have still blown out this competition. So that could come back to bite Marshall at some point if they don't clean that up. But Steve, that's a bit of an oddity to have all those fumbles, those interceptions, yet still blow out your opponents.
It is, and that's exactly the point Coach Huff has been making to his team, the offense, that, hey, we were dominating 2 games. Those 2 teams really didn't have a chance. But if you do that kind of thing, Marshall fumbled 4 times against Navy and 3 against North Carolina Central and only lost 1 of those in each game, but has thrown 4 interceptions. And in a tight game, that's what costs the team. So he really wants to see that part cleaned up. And I think you will probably see that over the course of the season. Now, any one game, it can still be a problem. But Grant Wells, it's weird to call him an experienced quarterback because you look at the roster and he's listed as a freshman, but he's a COVID freshman and was last year's first team All-Conference USA quarterback and the conference freshman of the year. So even though he's a freshman on the roster card, he's really not, and he is a pretty reliable guy, and I'm sure he has been as hard on himself about having thrown 3 interceptions already personally as anybody else has been on him. So at some point, I believe Marshall will get that cleaned up.
1 pick last week, but 3 touchdowns for Grant Wells, and you will take 34 of 48 every week if you can get it. What makes Grant Wells such a talented quarterback, Steve? What does he do well?
He does not seem like a young player. And again, you have the year of eligibility is one thing, but even when he showed up as a mid-year high school graduate, went through spring ball, a year that he redshirted and didn't play at all, he seemed like an older guy. He's matured beyond his years, and he's 6'2" or better, over 200 pounds, has a strong arm. He can make every throw. And he also is not a roller coaster guy. Makes a great play, claps his hands, comes to the sideline, makes a bad play, kind of hits himself in the head, comes to the sideline, and it's over. He's moved on. So that has been his trademark, a guy who seems mature beyond his years. Now, he and the entire team is really, and in some ways, the coach is not going to accept this as an excuse, but you can understand some of those problems because Marshall is playing hyperspeed now, and that's a new thing. The Herd ran 101 plays against North Carolina Central.
Wow.
When you played Navy held the football for over 40 minutes, even though it only scored 7 points. But Marshall, in that game, its plays per minute, time of possession, led the nation, and then you had 101 plays last week. So that is a new style. It's exciting for the fans, but you could probably have predicted that there would be some hiccups early in the season.
Talking to Steve Cotton, play-by-play voice of the Marshall Thundering Herd, something that jumped out to me with the box score, Steve, in the last matchup with North Carolina Central. You had 6 players who got carries outside of Grant Wells, and the carries were pretty split. And then, good grief, you had an entire roster catching at least one pass for Marshall. So, is that going to be the norm? Is Coach Huff still seeing what he's got on his roster? Was that because the game got out of control? What about all those players getting touches last week?
Yes, 16 different players caught passes.
Man.
Previous Marshall record was 13. Not all of those things that you mentioned play a factor, but Grant Wells completed passes to 9 different guys in the first quarter when the game was still 7-0.
Wow.
I probably should have mentioned that is one of his trademark strengths, that he doesn't just lock in on one guy. He finds the open guy the vast majority of the time. And so it's some of all of that, but that is something that you always see with Grant Wells at quarterback. He is going to spread the ball around and test the entire defense horizontally and vertically.
And Charles Huff knows running back. Steve, is he going to split up these carries like this week in, week out? Is there a feature back for Marshall? How about the running game?
Well, Sheldon Evans is the veteran, the junior. He has been a team leader since he stepped on campus. And in fact, last year, he was not the starting running back, but he was a captain every game all year long that he was healthy and able to play in. So you have that leadership from him. But the freshman, Rasheen Ali, is a special player, had 4 rushing touchdowns at Navy, caught a touchdown pass, and in fact caught 9 passes against North Carolina Central, second most in a game ever by any Marshall running back, to 10 by Ahmad Bradshaw, who went on and did great things in the NFL.
Yeah.
Those guys will rotate. Ali, probably the one at the end of the year who will have the most carries and the most yards as long as he stays healthy. A third guy, Knowledge McDaniel, is worthy of getting regular carries as well. So you see quite a good rotation there. But if you call them 1A and 1B, Rasheen Ali is 1A and Evans 1B right now.
Steve Cotton joining us on the Fixed NC Live Line talking Marshall football. Steve, East Carolina's offense really sputtering last week. A dismal performance against South Carolina. The last thing you want to see is another good defense, and it looks like that's exactly what ECU will face coming up on Saturday. So the Herd allows just 7 points to Navy, 10 points last week. What's going right on the defensive side of the ball so far for the Herd?
Well, Marshall's defense was good last year, number 1 in the nation in scoring defense, gave up an average of 13 a game for the year, and returns most of those guys. Now, there's a defensive lineman named Darius Hodge who is playing and doing well already in the NFL for the Cincinnati Bengals. A linebacker, Tavante Beckett, was last year's Conference USA Defensive Player of the Year, made the practice squad for the Detroit Lions. So those were a couple of good players who had to be replaced, but much of the talent is back, and it starts up front like it does for pretty much any defense. And there are 9, 10, 11 guys that they rotate and keep fresh legs, and you have no idea which ones might get the most snaps and make the most plays up front. The linebacking core, led by middle linebacker Eli Neal and an outside linebacker Abraham Beauplan, probably the most consistently good unit. You kind of know exactly what you're going to get from those two particularly. And then in the secondary, you had the most turnover, and you have a cornerback, though, in Stephen Gilmore. That name sounds sort of familiar. He's the younger brother of Stephon Gilmore, one of the best in the NFL right now. So he has the good genes. You have a couple of veteran senior safeties in Nazi Johnson and Brandon Drayton. So the unit is veteran on the defensive side, and several of them are standout players. I would be really surprised if they aren't strong all season long.
Talking to Steve Cotton, that's interesting. The Pirates took on Stephon Gilmore in Charlotte against South Carolina 10 years ago, and now another Gilmore on the other side of the ball with Marshall there. Steve, how about Marshall's special teams thus far? Pirates have been great in the punting game, some issues at kicker, but how about for the Herd side of things?
Well, Marshall's punter's a veteran senior. Robert Lefevre averages 42, 43 yards for a punt, consistent for the last several years. probably not as eye-catching as what Pirate fans are used to with John Young in terms of high booming punts and that kind of thing. Interesting story, though. Talk about an NFL lineage. The place kicker last year was Shane Chucci. He was good. He's back, but he lost the starting job to Andrew Sanders, older brother of the kicker for the Miami Dolphins.
Jason Sanders. Yeah.
Andrew has been in the Air Force, not at Air Force. He had a career in the Air Force.
Wow.
And saw that his younger brother, whom he could always whip in soccer and in backyard field goal kicking and everything, was having that success. As he got out of the Air Force at 26 years old, said, I'd like to try that. And he went to a kicking camp, and Marshall's special teams coordinator, Jeremy Springer, and this was even before he was on staff at Marshall, I believe, saw him in action when he came to the herd, said, I think I know a guy. And so Marshall has a 26, 27-year-old rookie place kicker in Andrew Sanders. Powerful leg, and he's 1 for 2 on field goals. The one he missed was, it was, I think, a 44, 45-yarder. He missed it wide, barely, and it would have been good from 55 or whatever. So that's the kind of leg he has. He has the potential to be quite an interesting story as the year goes along.
Yeah, that's a great story. East Carolina has a punter from Australia, Luke Larson, in his upper 20s. So maybe those two old guys can get together. Maybe they can't relate to these young kids on their team, Steve. Maybe they can get together and hang out at the game.
Yeah, they might have a little chat before or after.
Steve, looking around Conference USA, great start to the season for the Roadrunners of UTSA, going to Illinois, picking up a win. Louisiana Tech should have knocked off Mississippi State. Watched that game a couple of weeks ago as Skip Holtz and crew came up just short. Of course, Marshall's going to be at the top. What have you seen so far, Steve? Do you need to see more before you pick a favorite, or do you know the pecking order of Conference USA in 2021?
No, there's quite a bit of newness. There was the disappointing performance by UAB against Georgia this week because UAB, the defending champion, had most of its roster back, and I think a lot of people thought that not necessarily that they were going to go and whip Georgia, but that they could make a better showing than they did. On the east side, the big question yet is Western Kentucky, which totally revamped the offense. The Hilltoppers had a great defense already. The offense had struggled for a couple of years, so they brought in the new coordinator for Houston Baptist. Remember that FCS team was lighting up the scoreboards last year?
Yep.
And the quarterback transferred in from Houston Baptist as well. So that is the team that everybody's kind of wondering, what will they be? Because if they have a strong offense in addition to that defense they're bringing back, then that is potentially a very good team. And then you have a huge question mark on the east side as well at Old Dominion, which didn't even play last year, so you figured they were going to probably get off to maybe a slower start than most schools because it was a new coach last year, and then he never did get to play a game, so huge question marks there. And then year 2 at FAU for Willie Taggart, and you figure that he will recruit well down there with his reputation and so on. So a lot of question marks, more so than knowns thus far. And even Louisiana Tech, has that near miss and coulda, shoulda, woulda game against Mississippi State. Then they turn around and hang on for a 3-point win against Southeastern Louisiana in a shootout. So I don't think anybody has any clue the way it's going to shape up this year yet.
Yeah, week to week we'll have new opinions on Conference USA. Speaking of conferences, Steve, how much is Marshall, and I guess you personally, paying attention to conference realignment? Is Marshall potentially looking to move up? It looks like the AAC is going to eventually add some schools. How much talk around Huntington is there about that?
There's plenty of talk, but I don't know that it doesn't come from anybody who knows anything.
Right.
And it is an unusual situation at Marshall right now to be in kind of crazy times like this because Marshall's president is in his last year, already announced that quite some time ago, and we have an interim athletic director at Marshall right now. So instead, common logic would say, hey, you'd like to have a veteran president with lots of connections and who's invested in this. And not that Dr. Gilbert's disinterested in it, but he's not going to be around for the long term. So you wonder if the Board of Governors wants to make sure that they're more involved in. It's kind of an unusual situation, and so there's a huge question mark in my mind. And despite all of the internet experts who have great ideas and how it should be done, that's a giant unknown for all of us right now.
That is Steve Cotton, play-by-play voice of the Marshall Thundering Herd, joining us here on the Bud Light pregame tailgate, getting ready for kickoff. Pirates and Herd at 6 o'clock, and that is it for hour one of the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Coming up, hour number 2, we'll talk to the big man on campus, Jeff Nadeau, who just texted me and said he's either going to be really happy or really pissed off because he is sweating out the UConn Army game. I don't know the specifics. I just know that Army has a huge lead, but UConn has the ball. It is 52-14, but there is some Vegas drama, some spread drama. So we'll talk to a happy or upset Jeff Nadeau in just a moment. Indiana kicks a field goal to take a 24-23 lead over Cincinnati with 41 seconds left. And it's a one-score game between Nebraska and Oklahoma. 23-16, Oklahoma with the lead and the ball. A lot going on. We'll keep you up to date on everything on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard, Da Buck. We'll be back with you on the Bud Light pregame tailgate after this. The best place for delicious food and great prices is Familia. Familia has something for everyone, like New York-style pizza, lasagna, chicken, veal, or eggplant parmesan, homemade meatballs, plus a variety of seafood selections and favorites, like the steak burger and southern pork chop. If you need food to go, Familia's drive-thru window is open and ready for all takeout orders. Familia, Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College, and FamiliaNC.com.
Blue 42! Blue 42! Unlike football, life doesn't take a timeout, and anything can happen at any time. Unfortunately, anything isn't always a good thing. You need auto and life coverage, and agents there for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You need North Carolina Farm Bureau insurance. Timeout, not even in our vocabulary.
Pirate fans, call Brian Coleman or CJ Messerly at 756-3007.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company. Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc. Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi. An independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Ahoy, mateys! It's Captain Jack Spare of R&R Tire Express. We're here to serve our pirate community by offering easy payments for easy ownership. For you landlubbers, R&R will install a new set of tires for just $20. $50 installs new custom wheels and tires. To learn more about R&R, stop by 3920 US 264 or rnrtires.com.
Be sure to check out David Price Construction for all of your commercial or custom residential renovation and building needs. Run by ECU alumni, David Price Construction specializes in commercial projects, maintenance on facilities, and large-scale residential renovations and additions. Proud to be voted the Remodeler of the Year by the Home Builders Association of Raleigh-Wake County in 2018 and Best Business Commercial Remodel Project winner for 2020. David Price Construction, the proud ECU Home Services partner.
Eastern North Carolina's choice for window tinting, signs, graphics, wraps, graphic design, and more is Signs and Tint. Signs and Tint is family owned and operated right here in Greenville, and their NC licensed electricians specialize in ceramic coating, vehicle wraps, and more. Signs and Tint offers 10% off for military and first responders. Also, make sure to mention Pirate Radio at checkout for a discount. Stop by their office today at 801 Staten Road or visit them online at signsandtint.com.
Pirate Nation, the newest sports bar is Quarters Bar and Grill, offering gourmet burgers, hot dogs, and wings with unique flavors Greenville has never seen. Pirates like to drink too. Quarters Bar and Grill offers a selection of 10 beers on tap and over 50 different craft beers. Come check us out at Quarters Bar and Grill, open Wednesday to Sunday, 11 to 11, located at the shopping center next to Krispy Kreme. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram and be on the lookout for Quarters Cash hidden around downtown Greenville. Quarters Bar and Grill, the plunder never tasted so good.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Did you miss a show on Pirate Radio? You can listen to all of Pirate Radio's archived local programming by subscribing to us on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, or Spotify. You can subscribe today by going to the podcast app on your iPhone or Apple device, and you can search for Pirate Radio Audio Archives. Now let's head back into the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Here's your host, Clip Barak.
Alrighty, the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate brought to you by Bud Light, reminding Pirate fans to stay in the game, drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. We are supposed to hook up with Jeff Nadeau here. He is not going to be happy during this conversation. He had talked earlier in the week about Army. He got exactly what he wanted in the first half. Second half was a different story. And Jeff, following along with the score, I think something bad just happened, right?
Yeah, let's just talk about something else, Clip. I don't really want to talk about it.
I completely understand. Cincinnati and Indiana locked up in a good one in Bloomington right now, 24-23. Oklahoma and Nebraska is a one-score game, and Oklahoma has the football with a 7-point lead. Nebraska trying to get it back. Third down coming up. Jeff, do you have any other action going on right now, or is everything ahead of you, 3:30 and tonight?
Yeah, I got some things going on tonight. Listen, Clip, I got to be real honest. I mean, this is kind of the stuff about gambling that really, kills you. I mean, last night I had UCF's team total. I'm just, sucks, I have a lot tonight, couple games tonight, couple about to start.
Big man is down, but got off to a great start of the college football season. Just a little Friday night, Saturday noon struggle. Jeff, you'll get over it coming up this afternoon. I want to look at some of these afternoon games. Let's start with East Carolina and Marshall. I did notice, Jeff, the line has moved a half a point. Marshall now a 10.5-point favorite. I figured that, I don't know, I thought all week that line was a little low for me. I'm thinking Marshall by a couple of touchdowns. We talked to you earlier in the week. I think you said you don't, if you had to make a play on this one, you go Marshall. Do you have a play on ECU Marshall this afternoon?
I would lean Marshall. I think, with the fan base, you got to be kind of disappointed. I mean, there's kind of a bitter taste, I think, after that loss to them. I mean, you were up. The offense can't seem to move the ball. They don't ever really seem to have any advantage in the trenches, and that's just so hard to do and win in college football. I mean, when you're playing, FCS teams, that can work, but against a team like Marshall, I thought the number was a little low. I think obviously right now that's obviously moved up, and people are seeing the same thing. So, I would lean on Marshall. I think they're the right play here.
Jeff, an in-state game I didn't talk to you about earlier in the week. Yesterday, Brian North, WCTI 12, local TV sports anchor here, Jeff, brought up the old cliche, and I think it certainly fits for Florida State. He said with, a loss like they had like to Notre Dame, a loss they had like they had last week against Jacksonville State, you can either, get back to practice, bounce back in a big way from that, or it can basically derail your whole season. They are dogs to Wake Forest coming up at 3:30 in Winston-Salem. The Deacons a 4.5-point favorite, total at 62.5. Any thoughts on that game going on?
Yeah, I played over 61.5. I think for Wake, I've been pretty happy with this offense. I played them week one. They were able to do what a good football team does and absolutely blow a team out and not worry in the second half about any sort of backdoors. That's what good football teams do, not clown shows that just put the ball on the ground constantly and give up nonsense. But, I like Wake. I think their offense will move the ball against Florida State. I don't think Florida State's very good defensively. And when you look at Florida State, obviously they didn't play real well last week. But, I think you go back to Jordan Travis. I think you get back to what worked against Notre Dame. It seemed like it was just one of those games for that group. I thought both teams could score. I think both these teams get into the 30s. I played over 61.5 here.
Jeff Nadeau joining us. Jeff Nadeau, fresh off an appearance on The Dozen as a phone-a-friend, Jeff. I forgot to mention that when we talked to you the other day. That was pretty cool. You helped Dave Portnoy get a question right on trivia the other night.
I did do that. I did help him get a question right. I wish they would have waited to the end. I would have known that question as well.
Ah.
Unfortunately, I don't have control over that. I just take the call when I'm presented with it.
Yeah, you got the call, you took the call, and you came through. Big man, what else is coming up later on this day that you got your eye on? And we hit on some of the big games: Penn State, Auburn. I'll go ahead and say I'm just going to fade Bo Nix on the road. I've never seen him play good. I know he has. I'm sure he has. But it seems like every time I've watched him, it must have been big road games because he has just not played well. So I'm going to go Penn State tonight. Any thoughts on that game?
Yeah, I leaned under. I thought 53.5, even 52.5 I thought was a bit high for that game. Two good defenses. I think two teams that are really going to try to establish the ground game. You mentioned not only has Bo Nix been poor on the road, but I'm not a big Sean Clifford guy either.
Yeah.
I think both defenses do a nice job at limiting the big play. As far as other games, I played. I think I talked to you about this. I played over 65.5 with SMU Louisiana Tech, which is about to start. Look, I'm sure if I know anything to work the way I think it will, I'm sure it'll end 35-30 if I know anything. I also like Mississippi State. I played their team total. You look at Mike Leach. I mean, he's got to be all over. He's got to be beside himself that he gets to face the worst pass defense in the country. Nobody likes throwing the ball more than Mike Leach. Memphis has been just absolutely atrocious in the secondary. So I felt like that number was a little short. I thought 33.5. I'm going to just kind of play that and figure they push 40. I think their offense has been quite good this year.
Jeff Nadeau joining us, the big man on campus. Jeff, while we got you here, before we let you go, we talked NFL with you on Thursday. What's your favorite play coming up on Sunday?
Well, look, I played Pittsburgh at 5. I really like that one.
Yeah.
Obviously, Josh Jacobs. That number's moved up a little bit, but it's really not only him, but it's a bunch of others as well. I mean, Henry Ruggs, he's got some issues. Their offensive line's messy. And it's really just a rough spot coming off that win the way they did. Now you got to go across the country and play a really stout, tough defense. I like the Steelers, even at 6.5. I think they get the job done and win by a touchdown.
Perhaps a Pennsylvania parlay. I know you think your Eagles can win that game outright against the 49ers coming up on Sunday. Big man on campus, Jeff Nadeau. Jeff, boy, this was a tough one, coming off a tough game that you're watching live as you talk to us. So appreciate your time. Brighter days ahead. In fact, you're going to kill it afternoon and night. So go get some wins, and we'll talk later.
You got to deal with all these people on the internet that I could have told you shouldn't have lead big.
Oh, yeah.
Shut up. All right, shut up.
The old after the fact guy. Yep.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
See you, Jeff. There's the big man on campus. I told you he texted me about 15 minutes ago, said I'm either going to be really happy or really upset. UConn scores a meaningless touchdown late in the game against Army, but it was not meaningless to Jeff Nadeau as UConn gets the cover against Army. All right, let's update you on some scores before we take a timeout. Cincinnati is driving on Indiana. Right now, the Hoosiers have a 24-23 lead, 12:40 left to go in the fourth. Oklahoma can breathe a sigh of relief. They get by Nebraska 23-16.
What about that pick?
That is now a final. One of the best interceptions you'll ever see. Kind of frustrating when your receivers can't catch the ball and you got DBs from Oklahoma making an Odell Beckham Jr. interception.
Crazy.
Full extension, one hand. That'll be all over Sports Center and your highlight shows. West Virginia, a 27-14 lead over Virginia Tech. Hokies need to score quick or that one's about over. We're inside of 5 minutes. We got a touchdown in Bloomington as this second half has really opened up. Desmond Ridder with a TD pass, 19-yard touchdown to Alec Pierce. It is now Cincinnati going up by 5, PAT pending as that one is going back and forth. We got a score down in Miami. Michigan State up 24-14 on the U. That is what's going on right now.
And do you have an update on the Coastal Carolina game? Because the last update I had is Coastal Carolina hanging on to a 3-point lead over Buffalo.
That has gone final. Coastal Carolina wins it 28-25.
All right. Well, thank you for that.
Close.
Kentucky barely gets by Chattanooga 28-23.
Chattanooga.
Michigan had no problem with Northern Illinois 63-10. Let's see. Anything
West
else?
Virginia is about to upset Virginia Tech.
Thank you, Chandler. Just said that one a moment ago.
Oh, sorry, wasn't paying attention.
Boston.
I've trained you well.
Boston College beat Temple 28-3 in a snoozer. Notre Dame trailing Purdue 3-0. That score in South Bend right now. How about Dirt?
Or Sturbird.
It's still a long way to go, but do you think Notre Dame can come back and win their game? Kansas State leads Nevada 14-7. That's what's going on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard. Da Buck. We'll take a timeout. Come back when we return. Donnie Kirkpatrick one-on-one with the voice Jeff Charles. We'll have part of that conversation. Ronnie Woodward joins us later this hour. And, man, I'm having a blast keeping up with these scores. We'll continue to do that as well. More to go on the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Back with you after this.
Why do I run? Is it because I'm driven? Because I love the challenge? God, no. I do it for the beer. If you're the kind of runner who does it for the beer, this summer you can get one on us with the Michelob Ultra Beer Run. Grab your run buddies and get out there, because this summer there's beer at the finish line. Sign up at ultrabeerrun.com and trade your miles for beer.
Chico's Mexican Restaurant is the home of the best margaritas. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Tuesday for the Gulp of Mexico, a huge 46-ounce lime margarita for only $6.99. On Thursdays, relax and enjoy half-price pitchers of Chico's house margaritas. Choose from lime, strawberry, blood orange, raspberry, or peach. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's Mexican Restaurant in downtown Greenville and online at chicosrestaurant.com. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends.
Hey Pirate fans, your one-stop shop for all your tailgate essentials is Shimmer Boutique. Need some purple and gold to wear? Shimmer has a great selection of clothing for men, women, and children. Need some shoes? Shimmer has the best selection of Hey-Dudes around. Need a cooler for tailgating? Shimmer has you covered with a huge selection of Yeti and outdoor accessories. Shimmer, just 1 minute from the stadium on Greenville Boulevard behind Starbucks and in Winterville and Jacksonville. Find us online at shimmerboutiqueonline.com. Go Pirates!
Tommy's Express Car Wash is the car wash Greenville is talking about. At the corner of Red Banks Road and Greenville Boulevard, this state-of-the-art wash will keep your car looking great. And now Tommy's has just launched its new 2.0 Tommy's Express app. And anyone who downloads the app now will receive 30 free days of washing with their top-of-the-line wash, the Works Wash. Download the Tommy's Express app now by going to your app store or visit them on location, open 7 days a week at the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road.
I'm on site at the Gavigan Agency, and you guys have been taking care of my home and auto insurance for years, but I've been noticing that's not all you do.
First and foremost, Brian, thank you for trusting us to help you and your family with your insurance needs. And you're exactly right. We offer a full host of insurance products to help protect our customers' personal and business insurance needs. Let me introduce you to Nathan Brannon, our commercial insurance specialist, and he can tell you about some of the other products we offer.
Great to talk with you, Brian. As John mentioned, I specialize in offering general liability, commercial property, business auto, and workers' compensation insurance to independent contractors, small business owners, and larger commercial customers throughout eastern North Carolina. As a graduate of East Carolina University, I am passionate about taking care of my fellow pirates.
Wow, sounds like the Gavigan Agency can provide you just about any coverage a business owner might need. So give the Gavigan Agency a call today for any of your personal or business insurance needs and let them show you the benefits of doing business with someone who cares.
On Saturdays, your team needs you, your sofa needs you, and you need a Jersey Mike's sub. Get it all with free Saturday delivery when you order through the Jersey Mike's app. Jersey Mike's, a sub above. This Saturday, while you watch the game at home, we're watching the grill at Jersey Mike's. Order through the Jersey Mike's app for free delivery on Saturdays, unless you're going to miss hearing this. Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Hey everybody, this is David Glenn, and you're listening to my favorite station in eastern North Carolina, Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show. Now, with the Pirate Radio scoreboard, here's Shirley Rhodes.
All right, Coastal Carolina survives a scare over Buffalo. 28-25 was that final. Boston College beats Temple 28-3. It was Oklahoma beating Nebraska 23-16. Michigan beats up on Northern Illinois 63-10 is that final. Texas A&M shuts out New Mexico 34-0. And Army gets a win over UConn 52-21. Games going on right now. Number 8 Cincinnati hanging to a 6-point lead over Indiana. 30-24 is that score. Michigan State leads Miami 24-14. It is Purdue with an early 3-0 lead over Notre Dame, and Virginia Tech trails West Virginia 27-14. That is a look at your Buck scoreboard, brought to you by the Buccaneer Music Hall. It's your beacon of music in the land of the Pirates in Eastern North Carolina. They're open from noon until 2 a.m. with live music every night, and now during football season, they've got food trucks during the day. Follow the Buck on Facebook and Instagram for an updated schedule, and we'll see you at the Buck. Now let's head back into the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
Da Buck.
Da Buck.
I wanted you to do that before I read this tweet from a listener, Donald Juan. Fake name, obviously. Said, my wife just said, tell that guy to stop screaming into the mic. He's so annoying. And he said, I told her I didn't have Chandler's phone number. So,
Da Buck.
Da Buck.
I'm sorry.
Da Buck, da Buck, da Buck, da Buck, da Buck.
Sometimes it's hard to judge the level of those mics over there on the other side.
Yeah, your mic is a lot lower. We have to keep it on a low pod.
And my mic is different than your mic, so when you speak, you sound louder than I do.
That's the thing about mics. Everyone is different. They're like snowflakes.
Correct.
Da Buck.
Yeah, maybe if you put a little distance from you.
Da Buck.
It's pretty good. I think how's that, folks? Does that sound okay? Who cares? All right. Let's, before we get into the Donnie Kirkpatrick, Jeff Charles interview, I do want to look at some stats to consider. On our UBE stat sheet, UBE, a tradition for over 50 years. Shop online at the new and improved pirateware.com. UBE has the biggest and best selection of ECU sportswear and accessories for Pirate fans of all ages. Every day, and I mean every day, is game day at UBE. East Carolina is averaging 18 points a game on the UBE stat sheet, 98 yards and a half on the ground, 223 through the air. That average went up for the App game, way down for the South Carolina game, although it does factor in the Tyler Snead bomb. Take that away, that number is a whole lot lower. Total offense, Pirates are averaging 322 yards per game so far. Offensively, third down conversions. Wow, I wish we were talking defense, because the defensive numbers, they're giving up just 26% on third down. That's awesome. ECU, though, converting just 22% on third down this year, 7 of 32. That one's got to improve in a big way. Pirates have scored in the red zone. They're 100%, but only one touchdown in the red zone, 1 out of 4 on the year. Those are the numbers on the UB stat sheet on the offensive side of the ball. Let's now hear from ECU offensive coordinator Donnie Kirkpatrick. He went one-on-one with the voice, Jeff Charles.
Visit now with ECU offensive coordinator Donnie Kirkpatrick. And, Coach, you take on a defense this week. They're only giving up 8.5 points a game, and they've had 12 sacks. They've been very impressive. Can you X and O this Marshall defense for us just a little bit?
Well, it's another just fine defense, and very quick, very aggressive scheme, bringing a lot of pressure. I've got a couple of guys that really rush the quarterback well up front as well. Not afraid to get in zero coverage and get on you and play man coverage. So they've played 2 games. They haven't been challenged too much right now, but they look very impressive on film.
Yeah, they really do. Can you tell us about a couple of guys on this defense that really stand out for you? I've been told the guy, the Penn State transfer, Simmons, is really a fine player, and then their linebacker's pretty good too.
Yeah, I tell you, I hesitate to single out too many because you don't want to leave anybody out. But obviously, they do got a transfer came in. He was a 5-star kid out of high school. Everybody wanted him. So obviously, the talent's there for whatever reason. He hits the transfer portal, and they're lucky enough to get him. I've been very impressed with their safeties. A couple of guys, just really run well, cover well, play the run well. They get down in the box. They outnumber the run. They like to blitz the free safety a lot too. So he's a tough type player. So he's kind of a half linebacker, half corner guy a little bit too, which is very unique to be able to do all that. So again, they all just run well. They play very aggressive. It's a winning program, a new coaching staff. They've taken over. They've picked it right up where they left off with the fine teams that Doc Holliday had over those years, and they've blown 2 opponents out right now. So don't think they've been challenged as much as hopefully we will challenge them. We got to play better, and most of our concentration this week has been on us, just kind of getting ourselves right. If we can go out there and play up to our ability, we think we can play with them.
Rajay Harris did a nice job for you last week, Coach. He had 70 yards on the ground. That was a bright spot.
Yeah, Rajay's going to always be there. We didn't get him maybe as much involved in the game the first game. You get a little bit behind too quickly. You have to leave the run game maybe to try to have a chance to win. Last week we were in the lead for most of the game and then tied what part we weren't until the very end. You know what I'm saying? We were either ahead or tied in the game. We were able to stay with the run game. He ran hard both weeks. He had a little bit more success this week. He's going to do that. He and Keaton Mitchell are a good 1-2 punch.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Coach, we were sitting here a week ago, and we were wondering how the offensive line would stack up against a veteran defensive front for South Carolina. As you watched the tape after the game, how'd the offensive line perform last week?
I'm very pleased, as is Coach Shankwater and Coach Houston, I think, with how the offensive line played. It was a tremendous challenge with those 4 defensive linemen they started, and then the subs that they brought in. Some of them probably as talented or more talented than the ones that were starting. So I thought we held our own up front. The issue was they were a little better at corner, a little better in the secondary. Their linebackers were extremely fast. They corralled the ball. They kept us from making very many big plays, and really they made it hard for us to complete passes. They covered us up a little bit more than we hoped they would. So the O-line, though, the original question there that you asked me, I was very pleased. I thought we were more aggressive. I thought we looked faster and quicker than we did week 1 up front.
Holton Ahlers has been sacked 9 times through a couple of games here, Coach. What do you see there, and what do the Pirates have to do better to protect Holton, and what does Holton have to do to maybe get away from the pass rush?
Yeah, that's way too many times for anybody to be sacked in 2 games, and that's something we got to get corrected. We worked hard week 1, picking the blitz up. It really wasn't one time did the blitz get us in the game there. We got to get open a little bit better. We got to get a little better separation at receiver. He's going to have to make some quicker decisions. He's going to have to pull it down and take off and run maybe just a little bit more.
I know you can't be happy when you look at the third down conversions to 22%. Got to do better there, right?
Yeah, you're not going to be good on offense if you can't keep the money downs and keep the ball and keep moving. And I would say if there's one glaring weakness right now that is what is holding the offense back from being able to produce a better game, it is the third down right now. And that's something year 1 we were pretty good at in the past. We've always been good. Struggled a little bit more last year, I think, and we had a lot of emphasis on it going into this season, and yet we have not been able to do that. Some of that's maybe we getting in too many third and longs. Now we've played 2 outstanding defenses. We're going to play a third one again here today, so the schedule's not very kind to us. So we're just really going to just have to play better.
So, Coach, in a nutshell, to play better, what are the Pirates going to have to do execution-wise in this game with Marshall this afternoon to put some points on the board and win this football game?
Well, we got to find that combination of run game and pass game. In the first game, we were able to throw the ball, 300 yards or so. Last week, we were able to rush the ball a little bit more. We got to be able to put that together and keep our balanced offense going so we can keep them guessing, I think.
That's ECU offensive coordinator Donnie Kirkpatrick.
The voice with Donnie K there as they talk about this football game coming up at 6 o'clock. Other games going on right now. Indiana had it 1st and goal, run up the middle, helmet on the ball, and Cincinnati has recovered. I don't know what they ruled on the field, but that ball is out. It is under review. And it's going to be Cincinnati Bearcats football once they're done with this official review. And they will have the ball up by 6 with 8:28 left to go in the 4th quarter. They ruled him down, but the video shows that ball is out. Things are interesting in Morgantown. Virginia Tech has the ball, 2 minutes left. And they have it at West Virginia's 11-yard line, down by 6. So that one, might need to pull that one up on the laptop here, get a double screen experience going, because that one is coming down to the wire in Morgantown. All right, let's get a break in. We'll come back. Ronnie Woodward from the Daily Reflector will join us. He is live in Huntington. We'll talk to Ronnie about this matchup, and we'll enjoy some more Cucinellas. I dropped off some awesome pizza pie.
I'm about to break out a second Italian ice.
Number 2, Italian ice for Shirley Rhodes. Cucinella's Old Tar Road. Check them out on Facebook, Instagram, and at Cucinellas.com. That's Cucinellas. Cucinellas right there in Winterville. Some awesome New York style pizza. We'll take a timeout, come back, and have more for you. Ronnie Woodward joins us live when we return after this.
While you're sleeping, our whole hogs are slow cooking over wood to create that bite that Eastern North Carolina is known for. I'm Sam Jones, and for more than 3 generations, my folks have been the torchbearers for what whole hog barbecue is supposed to be. At Sam Jones, you'll find plenty of smoke, but no mirrors. Everything, and I mean everything, is made fresh daily, including our sides, sweets, and sauces. Come on over and see us at Sam Jones Barbecue, and I bet you'll be able to taste our passion in just one bite. Sam Jones Barbecue, Fire Tower Road.
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard, across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork, or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
We paid how much for those lessons?
Shh, she's doing great.
Oh yeah, totally. Can you pass me a Pepsi Zero Sugar? Great job, honey! Oh, look at that. That's not the end.
No way. Now it's time for the encore.
You know what? You're right. 5 times? Not enough times.
For everyone who traded in rock concerts for their kids' recitals, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
Here is your ice-cold Pepsi Zero Sugar, sir. Oh, thanks. Wanna watch the game? Ooh, little sports ball on a Sunday afternoon. Don't mind if I do. Hey, did we win? It sounds like we won. It's still the first quarter. I must be lucky. People say that about me. Tough break on that free throw there. Shouldn't be doing that. Dude, we're watching football. Come on.
For everyone who spent the entire game explaining the entire game, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Are you starting to plan your holiday travel for this year? Book today on American Airlines at PGV and enjoy the friendly convenience of flying from your local airport. American Airlines and PGV. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the Pirates fly.
Pirate fans, get ready for a winning season and team up with Quality Equipment, your local John Deere dealer and proud sponsor of the ECU Pirates. When you do business with us, you'll get things done right. We're proud to offer a large selection of new and used John Deere equipment, a fully stocked parts department, and a highly trained staff who is here to support you throughout the life of your equipment. So get quality done right before every ECU game day and visit QualityEquip.com.
This is Coach Steve Shankweiler, offensive line coach for East Carolina University football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. For the latest breaking news, interesting stories, and awesome contests that can make you a winner, be sure to follow Pirate Radio on our social media on Facebook and Instagram. You can follow us at PR927FM, and you can also follow us on Twitter, and that handle is at free PR927FM. Join the close to 50,000 followers today. Now let's head back in to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
All right, this is so much more fun than a noon kickoff because we have games going on all over the place and classics at that. Virginia Tech just had 4 shots inside the 10 to get into the end zone, down by 6, and they could not do it. West Virginia with the defensive stand on the Hokies, and they're going to come away with a win. They're up 27-21. And I did not see the timeout situation for Virginia Tech, but West Virginia can take a few knees and get out of here with a win in Morgantown. Cincinnati has the ball. They are trying to kill the clock. It is 3rd and 1. Indiana's down to 1 timeout. So this is really a crucial play here as Cincinnati up 30-24 with the ball, trying to get 1 yard to help their chances to win. And Michigan State has a 7-point lead with the ball on Miami with 4 minutes left to go. Let's get a look at Notre Dame up 7-3 on Purdue in the second quarter. That's a quick look at your Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard. Da Buck. Chandler standing a good 7 to 8 feet away from the mic, so he doesn't scream into it. Well done, Chandler. All right, Cincinnati gets the first down. They are going to milk this clock as long as they can now and try to get out of Indiana with a win. Let's go to Ronnie Woodward, who joins us on the Fixed NC Live line. Ronnie, happy game day. A lot of great games going on right now.
Yeah, there is. We were in Huntington. Already found the media parking lot, got settled, and found a little restaurant down the path, and we got the TVs flowing. So we are hanging out, watching the game, about to get some food, and ready to roll.
Ronnie, early look, you see a lot of green around there. Is Marshall a tailgating crowd or a show up to the game and cheer crowd?
No, I feel like there's a good vibe around the stadium and driving in. There's a couple frat houses and sorority, like right off campus. There's definitely some students listening to rap music that I did not know or recognize, and doing their thing, and then kind of walking around. Yeah, there's a lot of green. Even in the hotel, we checked in earlier, people were wearing, Marshall shirts. So it definitely has a college town environment, kind of a neat deal. It's my first trip here as well, so pretty excited. But yeah, there's some buzz. There's definitely some people walking around. It's a really nice day. So yeah, it's similar to ECU, same type of feel it looks like.
Ronnie, not a ton of people, media or fans, giving the Pirates. Well, I shouldn't say giving them a chance, but picking ECU to win this football game. You, going back weeks, have when I've brought up this game, you thought East Carolina could go to Marshall and come away with a win. Now, I don't know, you were kind of wishy-washy on Thursday when we last talked to you, but how are you feeling about this game from ECU standpoint heading into it here a couple hours from now?
Yeah, I think actually Steven made a good point on the drive up, but Marshall's defense was pretty good last year, and if they're good and kind of stout again, I think a lot of that, will come down to what ECU can do when it has the ball. But I still feel, like I said the other day, the same thing. Kind of going into the South Carolina matchup, I didn't think ECU was going to fare well up front. We all kind of knew that. And I think this is just a different matchup. I think it's more about speed and personnel and what you can do in space. But I think if ECU can get the running backs going, I think that's the key. Again, I know people want the Pirates right now to just open it up and try and score 50 and stuff. But if it's me, I think this can be a ball possession type, run the ball, hit some big plays with Keaton Mitchell, get Rajah Harris going. I think that's maybe the best avenue. I could be wrong. I'm not an offensive coordinator or a coach, but yeah, I think the run the ball and hit some big plays that way. I think, ECU can play well and has a shot at it. So I'll stick by it. Like you said, I'll roll with, I thought they were going to lose to South Carolina and could beat Marshall. So, yeah, I'll hang with that for now.
Looking at the UB stat sheet, Rajah Harris averaging 4.2 yards a carry so far this season, 22 for 95. Keaton Mitchell has 18 carries for 95, 5.1 yards per carry. And Rajah got going there on a drive in the second half where they were giving him the ball. He was getting good yardage. So that is something they could lean on today, that run game. Eventually, you got to hit big plays in the passing game to win football in 2021. ECU was not able to do it last week other than really the opening play of the game with Snead to Hatfield. One thing I did notice, Ronnie, while looking at the UB stat sheet here, East Carolina is being outscored by 1 point in the first quarter and by 1 point in the fourth. And let me start that over. East Carolina is being outscored by opponents by 1 in the first. They are outscoring opponents by 1 in the fourth. But going into the locker room has been an issue for East Carolina the first 2 weeks. First, you had points given up, and then you don't get that Hail Mary call against Appalachian State. That was a backbreaker. And then, of course, last week you had the pick six on the screenplay. So the Pirates are getting outscored in both the second and third quarters. And you hear coaches talk a lot about the middle eight. Ronnie, the middle eight, the last 4 of the second and the first 4 of the third quarter has hurt ECU through 2 weeks.
Definitely, yeah. That was one of my 3 questions heading into this game was, what's the impact of the third quarter, because it's been 14-3, a disadvantage for ECU this year in the third. It's only 2 games, it's a small sample size, but yeah, I mean that shows for one reason or another, or whatever it is, teams have come out of the second half and started hot and fared well against ECU in that third quarter. So that's something I want to watch tonight as well. And yeah, you're right, you're on it. The end of the first half and the start of the second half just has not been ECU's. I'm trying to think in the past, like last year, I know that was an issue at some point. I don't know if it was last year or the previous season, but there's been similar trends in the past. So, yeah, that's definitely, I think, something to watch tonight, especially coming out of halftime, because that's when teams are going to make adjustments. You might make some personnel changes, some different things, and, coaching and just, I think, in-game changes comes into play a lot in that third quarter. So the Pirates need to do a better job of that against Marshall. And, if it's a close game, yeah, you obviously you got to win the second half, and that starts with the third quarter and kind of setting up the finish. You look at last week, ECU that's when the problems, I think, started on offense or really hit home of just stalling out and just not getting first downs and just kind of punting the ball away and didn't get a whole lot going in the third quarter. That was costly last week. They could have put the game away during those second and third quarters, and they didn't.
And I remember in the past, Ronnie, and because I would kind of joke around a lot about it, ECU would be down 28-6, and Jake Verity, they go on a drive, do the fire drill, and get the ball to the 40, and Jake Verity would kick a field goal as time expired to go into the locker room. I feel like they did that a ton of times where really in the game it didn't matter because they were so far behind already, but they did a good job getting points at the end of the half, I feel like, the last few years.
Yeah, and that's big. I mean, especially if you defer and you're going to get the ball first
right.
To start the second half.
Double up, yeah.
Kind of parlay that. The point, then you get the ball. That's where you can get a big momentum swing. So, yeah, I'm with you. Some of that is luck, obviously, with just the coin toss. Like pure luck, but yeah, we'll see how that goes tonight. And yeah, I think it's an interesting game, and ECU needs to do that. They need it to be a second half type game and keep it interesting and close. And Cincinnati's about to get a pick six, which is going to be on your screen coming up in like 5-7 seconds. And yeah,
no spoilers, man. I got it 3rd and 16.
I know your TV set up.
I'm gonna say they complete this pass, Ronnie. I think you're wrong. Back to pass. Here's Penix. He is scrambling. He's in trouble. Oh, don't throw across the body. And he did. And there goes the return to the. Oh, he stepped out. Stepped out at the 5.
Right.
Cincinnati is going to win this football game. Then again, if you watch the Washington and New York Giants game the other night, you can never count a win, because that was a wild one. Ronnie, good stuff, man. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy watching the games and enjoy ECU and Marshall live from Jones C. Edwards Stadium. We'll see a recap. You can check out his Twitter at RonnieW11, and we'll talk to you next week on Pirate Radio Live.
That sounds good. Good timing. My mac and cheeseburger just showed up.
Nice.
Here, and I'm ready to dive in. And yeah, I'm actually going to, in a minute, I'll pimp out. I'm going to go catch up with some members of the 1970 ECU football team.
Oh, yeah, cool.
From that. So I'm texting with them. I'm going to go try and get kind of the tailgate scene and put some of that on social media, hopefully here in the next hour or two. So I'll be working on that, then heading into the stadium. So.
We'll be on the lookout for that at Ronnie W11. That's really cool, Ronnie. We'll check that out, man.
All right. Thanks, guys. See y'all.
See you, bud. There's Ronnie Woodward from the Daily Reflector giving us spoilers as his TV is ahead of ours. We are streaming here in the Pirate Radio studios. First and goal, Cincinnati. They are going to bleed this clock, and if they kick a field goal, they'll go up by 2 possessions. So right now it's just a matter of, do they get aggressive, try to really put the dagger in, or do they kill clock, settle for 3, and take a 9-point lead? This will be a big game for them, big win for them, because if I'm not mistaken, up next for Cincinnati is Notre Dame, which really, do we care? I guess we care from a financial standpoint this year. If they could make it all the way to a big bowl game, and ECU could receive some runoff money from that, being in the American, but they are on their way to the Big 12. It was not good for a future Big 12 team last night. UCF losing to a pretty bad Louisville team on the road last night in a thriller, a pick 6 at the end of that game. And if you missed it earlier, Dylan Gabriel, a broken clavicle in that game on the last play for UCF. So unlikely that he'll be the quarterback when the Pirates take on the Knights coming up next month. All right, let's get a break in. We will come back. We'll have more. We'll try to update you on everything going on across college football on our Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard. Shirley Rhodes Red Sox are up 8-3 in the 7th inning over the Orioles. There's one for you on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard. Take a timeout, come back, and take a look at all the scores when we return after this.
You have to get off the beat.
Charge surprise fees, but Domino's is giving away $50 million worth of surprise frees, like free pizza, lava cakes, or cheesy bread when you order delivery online. And we found some unique ways to get the word out.
Like shouting from the rooftop!
Free cheesy! Screaming it! We even called Paul Revere.
Free lava cakes are coming!
Order delivery online and you could get a surprise free from Domino's. No purchase necessary. Open U.S. residents 13 and up through 11/21/21. Odds of winning are 1 in 14. See rules at surprisefrees.domino's.com for free entry, blackout dates, restrictions, and details.
Hey Pirate Nation, be sure you have the best comfortable shoes this tailgate season with a stop at Flea Feet. This is ECU alum Chris Lunyon, owner of Flea Feet of Greenville, and we provide solutions through one-on-one service to runners, walkers, and everyone in between. Flea Feet has the tools and technology to get you in the right shoe, including a 3D foot scanner that measures arch height, width, and more. Come visit us on Greenville Boulevard in the public shopping center right near the stadium. Be sure to run with us on Facebook and Instagram. Flea Feet, we run for you. Go Pirates!
This is Martin Truex Jr., and as a NASCAR Cup Series champion, I love one-stop shopping. When I need fresh tires or fuel during a race, my pit crew takes care of everything. Off the track, I have an Auto Owners independent agent. They handle all my insurance in one place: car, home, life, and business. Get your own pit crew and find a local agency with Auto Owners Insurance.
This is Brian Smith with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
At West Park Motor Company, customer satisfaction is the #1 goal while offering a wide range of cars, trucks, and SUVs at very competitive prices. Shop online at westparkmotorcompany.com right now to get started. Looking to sell your vehicle? Call West Park for a free appraisal. West Park is willing to pay more for your car or truck than the next dealer. West Park Motor Company, with locations in Greenville and Washington, and proud courtesy car dealer for the Pirates for over a decade. Go Pirates! At Union Bank, we understand you live life on the go. That's why our banking options are designed to serve you, wherever you are. If you want to meet us in person at one of our local branches, complete banking tasks on the go from the mobile app, or bank from your office with convenient remote deposit and cash management services, we're everywhere you need us to be. Whether you're simply managing a busy schedule or an entire business, we're right there with you with personalized service and helpful tools. Call or visit us online at unionbanknc.com. Union Bank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
It's bow time. It's the same song, different tune. The family debates dinner, but all you're craving is a double serving of aspirin. So drop a big bow box on that pack of picky eaters. Cause when you can get 8 pieces of chicken with 4 made-from-scratch biscuits, 2 fixins, and tea, dinner's easier than hitting mute on the group chat. Bojangles, it's bow time.
This is Coach Donnie Kirkpatrick, offense coordinator for ECU football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show. Now, with the Pirate Radio scoreboard, here's Shirley Rhodes.
All right, Cincinnati hangs on. They defeat Indiana by a final of 30-24. Michigan State has extended their lead over Miami. 38-17 is that score in the fourth quarter. Notre Dame leads Purdue 10-3. Alabama puts a touchdown on the board. They lead Florida 7-0. Baylor leads Kansas 7-0. Wake Forest has jumped out to a 7-0 lead over Florida State. USC and Washington State, SMU, Louisiana Tech, that is Skip Holtz's team, and Clemson and Georgia Tech. All three of those games are underway. No score as of yet. That is the Buck Scoreboard, brought to you by the Buccaneer Music Hall. It's your beacon of music in the land of the Pirates in eastern North Carolina. They're open from noon until 2 a.m. with live music every night. And now during football season, they've got food trucks during the day. Follow the Buck on Facebook and Instagram for an updated schedule, and we'll see you at the Buck. Now let's head back into the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Here's your host, Clip Broad.
The Buck.
The Buck.
I didn't know you were going to come back with the scoreboard. I was going to warn people and tell them to sit down and have some shocking news. Alabama scored a touchdown on their opening drive.
Well, duh.
Well,
thank you, Captain Obvious.
I mean, I've seen a lot of Florida plus 14 this week, and look, it could happen. Maybe Florida will get the ball and come back and answer, and we'll have a classic in Gainesville. But I just didn't say. I got to see Alabama lose or play a close game before I'll even think about predicting them to, not win by double digits or three scores.
What was that spread in that game? Wasn't it like 14.5?
Yeah, and down to 14 kickoff.
Wow. In the swamp, that's pretty big.
Oh, it's huge, but not big enough. Like, I would take Bama today. I got him in a little teaser action going on. Little teasy weezy. But, I mean, they're showing Tim Tebow. The fans are all there, but it don't matter. Nick Saban does not care. Quit asking.
So quit asking.
Alabama's won 42 straight games when scoring a touchdown on the opening drive, and they do that pretty much every game. So, quite a scene in Gainesville, I will say that. You didn't go to the swamp, did you? Did you?
No.
Or did you? You did not. I would like to go there. I know a lot of Pirate fans made the trip there.
I went to a Florida game, but it was in Birmingham.
Ah, yes, Queen. Yes.
Were you here when we went to the Hawaii Bowl?
I did the pregame, but not the postgame. I was not doing postgame then.
Yeah, because we tried really, really hard to do the postgame live from Hawaii. We really tried to push that, but it didn't quite work.
It didn't work in the budget. That's
Billy Weaver got to surf the whole time he was over there, but
that's right. Was he who left a bloody mess?
That would be Bailey.
I think it was Bailey.
Yeah, Bailey got upended and wound up getting scratched up by some coral or something. I forget what it was.
We'll check in with Bailey coming up at 4 o'clock right here on the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate.
This Italian Ice, by the way.
Thank you to Cuccinelli's for the awesome pregame food.
I am on number 2. This one is lemon.
Now, I think we figured it out, though. The first thing you had was a gelato.
Yeah.
Now you are enjoying an Italian Ice.
Yes.
And they have both.
The lemon is a little tart, but it's really good.
Cuccinelli's makes small batches every day from scratch, all fresh ingredients in their Italian Ice and gelato. And, of course, man, the pizza is amazing.
That buffalo chicken one's off the chain.
New York style
Don't
pizza.
Even get me started.
We got one with all the meats. We got one with buffalo chicken. We got one with just pepperoni. It is awesome. The same special family recipe since 1932.
Wow.
That's an old school recipe right there. You can find them on Old Tar Road across from Plant and Sea, Cuccinellas.com. They're also on Facebook and Instagram. Hooked us up with an awesome pregame tailgate here for the crew at Pirate Radio. All right, East Carolina Marshall, by the way, mentioned it a moment ago with Jeff Nadeau, but this line is now up to 10.5, which means you're getting some action on the Marshall side of things. Some Marshall bettors coming in The total is 58.5, which, let's see. I hate doing this on the spot because I stink at math. So 34-24, right? That would be 58, and that would be around a 10-point spread. Can't believe I was able to do that so quickly. So Vegas thinking that ECU gets around 23 to 25 points today, which would be their highest point total of 2021. Chandler, two separate questions. How many points does ECU need to win today, and how many points do you think they'll score today?
I don't know. They're going to have to get at least 28, 31. 38.
I mean, I'm thinking Marshall is definitely in the 30s, 33, 35, 38. I would say 40 to win, maybe 38 to win. But we have seen this team score 19 and 17 through the first 2 weeks. And honestly, yeah, they had some taken off the board against App State, but also they scored 10 points when the game was pretty much over.
Right.
So I don't have a lot of confidence in this offense right now, but they could bounce back and have a big day today. Marshall's defense was good last year. They've been good so far this year, but they haven't been tested so far this year, of course. So how many points do you think the Pirates will put up today? Just tell me your answer.
Like, I would hope, like, I would
No.
hope 31.
No. That wasn't the question. Hope. I said, how many do you think?
I think they'll put up 28.
All right. How? Hussein, how?
I miss him. I don't know, man. It's just, I want to say that this defense is going to put them in some positions to score.
Okay. I like that. That would certainly be helpful.
And
special teams, defense, helping
maybe
out.
some big Tyler Snead returns on kickoff, on punt.
All right.
Maybe a turnover that sets the Pirates up pretty inside maybe the 30, 25-yard line. That happened last week with that fumble that was returned by DJ Ford. That set up the Pirates to score on that Holt Naylor's quarterback sneak, or the read option play. So maybe something like that, or maybe the Pirates can start on their own 20-yard line and drive down the field
and actually have a drive.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that can happen too. But I mean, the only way I could see this offense scoring right now is with help from the defense or maybe special teams as well.
Shout out to Florida. The Gators are driving. They got it in the red zone, second down right now, as they try to answer as Alabama scored on their opening drive. Looking around some other scores, Cincinnati up 38-24. They are going to leave Indiana with a double-digit win. That is a big win for Luke Fickell and company. Next, they set their sights on Notre Dame and South Bend. So if you're Cincinnati, you really need Notre Dame to win today and keep winning. I think, let me check this. I want to say Notre Dame has Wisconsin before they even, Cincinnati's off next week, and then they play Notre Dame. Notre Dame has Wisconsin before they play Cincinnati. So what Cincinnati really needs is Notre Dame to beat Purdue, beat Wisconsin, have a really good number next to their name to make their win, if the Cincinnati can win over Notre Dame, look that much better. Now, I don't know if all that will happen, but that's what Luke Fickell and company is hoping will happen. Florida's got it 1st and 10. They are moving down the field. Right now, Tulsa has the ball in a scoreless game against Ohio State. Georgia Tech has it against Clemson in a scoreless game in Death Valley. And that's some of the action going on right now across the country on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard, the Buck. Let's take a timeout. We'll come back and check in with Double B, Brian Bailey. He joins us as we kick off Hour 3 of the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. We'll roll on with you after this.
Come and explore great shopping in downtown Washington at Naughty Life. Hi, this is Gina from Naughty Life, and new fall merchandise is arriving every day, featuring all the new Yeti products, like the loadout buckets and waterproof dry duffel bags. We have new fall clothes for men, women, and children. At Naughty Life, we have something perfect for any occasion, like new jewelry and a great selection of sunglasses from Costa, Reflect, and RCI. Visit Naughty Life on Main Street in historic downtown Washington, and like us on Instagram and Facebook.
Do you suffer from pain, anxiety, or sleeping issues? Eastern Healthcare has a solution for you. Eastern Healthcare is the premier CBD store with retailer quality products to help with any ailment you might have. They carry nationally recognized brands such as Curative's Delta 8, CBD Distillery, and Charlotte's Web with a wide variety of delivery systems.
This is Adam from Eastern Healthcare. Come visit our store at 2245 Stantonsburg Road across from Vidant Hospital or call 227-4199. Eastern Healthcare. Wellness starts here.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Kyle Gaines from Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Not only will you feature a great selection of pre-owned inventory for sale, but we'll also buy your vehicle even if you don't buy one from us. Drive a little, save a lot. Give us a call and make a short trip to Washington and let us buy your vehicle today. It is totally worth it. We also service all makes and models at our state-of-the-art service department. Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram between Greenville and Washington, and WashingtonChryslerDodgeJeepRam.com. Remember, drive a little, save a lot. Go Pirates.
Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
You know, anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those. But anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
Your power's out. There's a water leak. What do? For these and other utility-related emergencies, you need service, and you want it fast. There are two things you can do to get the quickest response if you're a GUC customer. First, you can call the hotline at 1-855-767-2482 and report any utility-related emergency. That number is also on GUC.com. Or second, you can give GUC your phone number. The hotline process is quickest when their account records have your current phone number. Service you can count on. Greenville Utilities.
Hey, Troy D here for my friends at Villa Verde. If you know me, you know I love being outside, but finding a good place to eat outside can sometimes be tough. Well, our pals at Villa Verde have fixed that. Not only does Villa Verde have awesome, unique, one-of-a-kind dishes here in Greenville, they also have a brand new outside dining area. And this outside area is sweet. It's covered, you're in the shade, and cooling fans are on. Enjoy the comfort and relaxation of dining outside with our friends at Villa Verde. Villa Verde on 10th Street, a platform for good.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Hey, watch all of Pirate Radio's local programming on YouTube Live. Go to YouTube and search for Pirate Radio TV and subscribe today. You can also watch Pirate Radio Live Monday through Friday from 3 until 6 p.m. and the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate in the U.S. Cellular fifth quarter on game days. Just go to YouTube, search for Pirate Radio TV, and click on the subscribe link. And now let's head back into the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Here is your host, Clip Rock.
Quick look at the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard. Good drive by Florida, but it ends in 3. That is not how you beat Alabama. That is how you maybe cover against Alabama. It is 7-3 after each team gets one possession. Also, Clemson has taken an early 7-0 lead over Georgia Tech in the first quarter. There's a couple of scores on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard. Da Buck. Da Bailey joins us on the Fixed NC live line as he is live from Morgantown, West Virginia. No, he's not. He's in Huntington, West Virginia. Unless he went and saw that Virginia Tech and West Virginia game earlier, which was a classic. West Virginia getting that win. Bailey, I believe you're in Huntington, though, right?
Yes, we are. Huntington, West Virginia.
What you've been enjoying the local sights and sounds? What you been up to over there?
Well, we good. We got in yesterday afternoon, and we did a little bit of work. We did an interview with Coach Houston that we run on Touchdown Friday. It's one of the reasons I can go on road trips this year, because we can have that exclusive interview. So we do that, and we got all that taken care of. We went out, had a nice dinner, and hung out for a while, and got to bed fairly early, and got up today, and it's really hotter than I thought it was going to be right now. I think it's going to cool down by kickoff. We're still 2 hours away from kickoff, but just artificial turf. I mean, the heat just beams right off of it here at Jones C. Edwards Stadium, James F. Edwards Field. Marshall Thundering Herd, and East Carolina. Tyler Steed is warming that arm of his up. He's getting ready. He may be throwing it again today.
Interesting. Very interesting. Sneed warming up. He's talked to him Monday, Bailey. He said it was sore. Said he threw the ball from his he was talking to you before we went in the interview. We referenced it on the show. Said he got that from his baseball playing days. Said he played center field and said he was sore on Monday, but that thing's probably loose and ready to go today.
Yeah, it's loose and ready to go, and he's out here. Some of the other receivers are getting stretched out a little bit. Marshall's got about 30 players on the field right now, just kind of going through some plays, walking through things, that kind of thing. And the specialists are out here for East Carolina. The kickers are over on the to my left. So it's still way early, but I think everybody's kind of surprised how hot it is right now.
Bailey, Marshall, a 10.5-point favorite in this game. Total sitting at around 58. What's your take on this one? Is this a game where you see the Pirates staying in it, the Pirates winning it, or does Marshall have a clear edge and can maybe go away from the Pirates in this game? What are you thinking right now?
Well, it's funny you said that because I picked East Carolina to win the first two games, and I'm usually not one of those guys that picks them every game because obviously if you pick them every game, nobody believes what you're saying anyway. So I'm thinking about picking against them today. Maybe that'll get them over the hump and they'll win this game. I think this is a very difficult assignment, obviously, as the first two assignments were, but it's a very different game. I think Marshall's talent base is more comparable to East Carolina's on the lines, the offensive line, the defensive line. I think that's where we found South Carolina had the big advantage on the defensive line and some of their defensive backs. I don't think you'll see that here. I think Marshall's just they play well in two games, and East Carolina has 2 L's for the first two games. I think that's where you see the 10-point spread. I think normal. We've had some really good East Carolina teams come to Huntington and go home with an L. So this is going to be a tremendous challenge. But it's like Robert Jones said the other day on my show. He said at some point the guys got to figure out, hey, they're tired of coming up without a W. And got to do everything it takes to get one.
I mean, yeah, I hope everybody is tired of losing at this point, but you can't just flip a switch and win. I don't have the answers, Bailey. I'm not going to pretend to, but we have had some quarterback chatter this week, and you got to think Holden Ayler's confidence took a hit last week with his performance against South Carolina. You hope he can bounce back and put together a good game today, which we've seen him do at times in the past. It is interesting that, on the post-game, Bailey, obviously we get a lot of calls about Mason Garcia, the backup quarterback, all that stuff. And this week, Donnie Kirkpatrick did say that Mason's gotten a lot better from last year. Mike Houston said there will be a day when he's the starting quarterback here at ECU, but they both made it pretty clear that Ahlers is the guy they're rolling with today and moving forward for the near future.
And I think it's just a matter of everything that they've seen in scrimmages and in practices, that the guy that gives you the best chance to win is Holton. And I think that's how it is. It's not that because he's from Conley and because he's a hometown guy or anything like that. I think it's all out there. But I do agree with him. Mason Garcia's got all the tools. I mean, he's a big kid. He can run, as we saw in the Navy game last year. But I think he still has some seasoning to go that before he will be the man at East Carolina. His day will come, but I think right now it's still Holton Ayler's ball club. And hopefully they can get this thing cranked up and that offense. And we've seen the offense. We've seen brilliance out of this offense before. So we're just waiting for it to show up in 2021.
Kevin Monroe brought up a good point on Tuesday when we talked to him, Bailey, that, it's fine to be excited with the Pirates' defensive effort last week, but that was against a team that was very one-dimensional in the way that they had a few big pass plays, but for the most part, they struggled at the quarterback position and throwing, and ECU was able to stop their run. Today, you've got a quarterback in Grant Wells who can orchestrate a high-powered passing offense, and Charles Huff and his background as the former Alabama running backs coach is going to run the football. Tougher test today for Blake Harrell's guys taking on a team that is not just one-dimensional on offense.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more of a bend but don't break philosophy. I think they're going to give up some yards. They're just going to have to hope that they can, create some turnovers like they've been able to do. We've talked about it before, but teams have, certain personalities that develop, and maybe one of the personality for East Carolina is they're going to create turnovers and get those turnovers. So hopefully that'll play out, and you can give up 50 or 60 yards on a drive if you pop it loose. When they get in the red zone, and I think that's something that this East Carolina team, I know they really want to create some turnovers, and we'll see if it works. They created some last week and still didn't get them a W, but that's part of the game plan, I'm sure.
Last week was odd. They won some really key categories, Bailey. Turnover battle, penalties, and still didn't win the game. I will say this, if you want to be optimistic about heading into this one, Marshall has been awful about turnovers and putting the ball on the ground so far this year. Their starting quarterback, Wells, already has 3 picks. They have fumbled. Now, they've recovered a lot of their fumbles, but they've also given it up a few times. So, despite the scores and the way they've been able to pound Navy and also take care of Central rather easily, they have been very careless with the football. At some point, that's going to come back to bite them in a game this year, and hopefully that'll be today.
Yeah, and that's another big key. You got a team that has a tendency to turn it over against a team that has a tendency to create a turnover, and hopefully that'll play out coming up this afternoon. But I just think that I think it's an old cliche. You have to get off to a good start, but I think not only a good start, because the Pirates got off to a good start last week with the big play on the very first play, but you got to get off to a really good first quarter start. You got to you set the tone in that first quarter. You're going to be able to get 3 or 4 yards whenever you need them, running the football. Are you going to be able to do that? Are you going to be able to get, Tyler Snead? Tyler Snead has games where he's running free in the secondary with nobody around him. Is this going to be one of those days where they forget to cover him like, SMU has done in the past and some other teams? Or is this one of those days where, like App State, they kind of take him out of the ball game? If you take Tyler Snead out of the ball game, Pirates will have tough sledding the rest of the way.
Bailey, looking forward to hopefully a good one tonight in Huntington, West Virginia. Brian Bailey is there, and Double B. You had to be happy the other night. You like to see the Giants lose, right? The NFC East team. So you were probably happy on Thursday night, right?
I was hoping they both lose. Haven't figured out how you can do that, and they almost did. If you look at the game,
both of them wanted to lose.
Game where both teams lose, yeah.
That was nuts, man. I couldn't even. I don't know. I didn't have any words after that one. That was crazy.
Well, I saw the field goal, and I was like, "Oh, they lost on missing the field goal." And then I saw the flag, and the guy is right over the football. And I don't know if you've seen this or not, but there's a meme going around that says he really wasn't offside, that he moved a little bit early.
Yeah, it's a bad angle. I mean, it might be true, but you can't tell.
But you can't tell. But I mean, it was close. But the fact is, the ball's right there, son. You just go when the ball moves. That's football 101. When you start Pop Warner on defense, you're taught, look at the ball moves, you move. But
yeah, the fact is, you're playing Washington. The guy's going to miss it whether you're out there or not. So just don't jump off sides. But he hit the second one. Cowboys-Chargers, that's a good one coming up tomorrow, Bailey. I saw it firsthand last week. Those Chargers are good. That should be, I'm thinking, a shootout in L.A. coming up tomorrow. What you think?
Yeah, I think so. And DeMarcus Lawrence is out for the Cowboys, so that's going to be tough to get. They got to get a pass rush. I mean, if you're seeing it all over the NFL. If you don't get any kind of pass rush, and you guys have all day, they're going to pick you apart. And if Dallas doesn't get any pass rush, they're going to lose. So.
Bailey, good stuff, man. Enjoyed the chat, and maybe we'll check in with you after the game on the 5th quarter. We've been red hot the first 2 shows, but if we have a bit of a lull, we'll shoot you a call there tonight.
Sounds good. We'll be around.
See you, man. There's Double B, Brian Bailey. He is the sports director of WNCT Channel 9. He is also the host of the Brian Bailey Show right here every Monday, 6 o'clock on Pirate Radio. Let's take a time out. We'll come back. We'll update some scores for you. Also got Jeff Charles coming up later on this hour, and Stephen Igloo from HoistTheColors.net will join us live from... keep wanting to say Morgantown for some reason. Huntington, West Virginia. It was because I was watching that game, I guess. We have a turnover. Oh, my goodness. We got a touchdown. Is that a pick 6 or a punt return? Either way, Memphis is up 7-0 over Mississippi State. Mississippi State just had the ball and was driving, and I look back at it, and Memphis is up 7-0. So the early lead for the Tigers there. In that one, Alabama has the ball up 7-3 on Florida. More on your Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard when we return after this. The Buck.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Watch our prices fall at Bostic Sugg Furniture. All the gotta-get-it-now looks and styles are in. We have what you need to add warmth and beauty to any room. Sofas, sectionals, and motion furniture from the best brands. Lazy Boy, Bassett & Rowe, all in stock with huge in-stock savings. And the more you buy, the more you save. Up to $720 back, plus great savings on Serta and Restonic mattresses. So watch our prices fall at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
Hello, Pirate Nation. This is Bram Anderson from Tiebreakers, and we are excited to announce that we will be opening our second location in Winterville soon. Right now, our growing company is hiring team members for all positions for both locations. We need managers, bartenders, servers, cooks, and dishwashers. If you're looking for an opportunity to be on a fun and exciting restaurant team, then come see us today. Apply in person at Tiebreakers at Bells Fork. Check us out at tiebreakersnc.com.
If you are push mowing your yard using an inefficient lawn tractor, or your current zero-turn spends more time in the shop than mowing your grass, it's time you look at a Hustler zero-turn lawnmower. Residential mowers from Hustler are built like tanks and drive like sports cars. All Hustler mowers have fabricated, welded steel decks. Don't settle on cheap units with flimsy stamped decks from big box stores. Come see Ron Ayers Motorsports. It will guide you to the right mower for your property and your budget. Find us at Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11 north of the airport in Greenville.
Sawyer's Fun Park is now open in Greenville. This state-of-the-art 40,000 square foot facility features a 2-story LED interactive laser tag, a one-of-a-kind 2-story ninja course, a ropes course with a 180-degree zip line, and it's only one of 5 in the country that are indoors. Multiple climbing walls, a super cool arcade with 40-plus games, and a brand-new full-service cafe and bar for adults. Visit the brand-new Sawyer's Fun Park, now open, located right behind ARU on Corey Road, Greenville.
Do you have any real estate questions about buying or selling residential or commercial properties? Are you curious about this current real estate market? Do you need a property manager for all your rental houses? This is proud ECU alum Scott Harris with RE/MAX Preferred Realty and SD Harris Properties, and I would love to help answer every question you have and show you a real estate experience that will be memorable and enjoyable. Every step of the way, I'm here to make your dreams a stress-free reality. Call me today at 347-1857. That's 347-1857. Go Pirates.
Pirate Radio.
You know, I think this is a pretty blue-collar, tough, hard-nosed fan base, and that's where our teams are going to be.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Did you miss a show on Pirate Radio? Listen to all of Pirate Radio's archived local programming by subscribing to us on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, or Spotify. Subscribe today by going to the podcast app on your iPhone or Apple device. And search for Pirate Radio Audio Archives. And as we head back into the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, Clip, you were talking about you weren't sure what happened on the Bucs scoreboard, but a quick score from Memphis over Mississippi State, and Sanchez Blake Jr. got them on the board as there was a fumble return for 49 yards, and that is how the Tigers have taken a 7-0 lead over Mississippi State.
That was fast because Mississippi State was moving the ball, and then not so fast, mi amigo, Memphis touchdown.
Yeah, that's what happened. The quarterback handed off to the running back. He dropped the ball, picked it back up, started to run, and Memphis popped it loose. And Sanchez Blake was able to just catch it on the bounce and take it to the house.
As we were going to break, Alabama scored another touchdown. They're up 14-3 in the Swamp against the Florida Gators. Gators with the ball back, trying to go on another drive. Wake Forest taking it to Florida State, 14-0. That score early, In Winston-Salem, check that. Touchdown Florida State, 14-7 in the first quarter. The score there in Winston-Salem. Washington State a 7-0 lead over USC. They just fired their coach earlier this week. Duke, this is why you never listen to me. I told Brian North yesterday I like Northwestern. Duke is up 14-0 on Northwestern. Is this right with 11 minutes left to go in the first quarter? I guess so. Duke all over Northwestern very early in that one. All right, let's look at your Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard.
Can I add one more score?
No. You know what? Yes.
ECU volleyball is in action right now, and I know you were over there last night. They are up 2-0 on Appalachian State, and they have just started set 3, and the Pirates are up 8-5. Just so you know.
Pirates trying to go 2-1 in the Pirate Invitational. They beat Gardner-Webb yesterday. I was at the game last night where they got smoked by UTRGV.
Holy cow, UTRGV.
Do you know what that is?
Okay, hold on.
UTRGV.
I'm thinking.
Sounds like we're naming like at the end of Wheel of Fortune where you name the letters you want.
Okay, I'm going to go University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley.
That is correct.
Ding, 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 ding.
The Vaqueros put it to the Pirates last night. But ECU, if they can win today, will go 2-1 over the weekend.
That was a total guess, by the way.
That was a good call.
I almost went University of Tennessee, but then I was just like, what is the RGV?
Tennessee.
Rocky Valley.
Oh, Rocky Valley, you'll always be home. All right, there you go. On your
and in baseball, Alec Burleson went yard again.
Yard work.
And they are actually bidding on his jersey. They put a autographed jersey up for bid on the Memphis Redbirds website. So
very cool.
If you would like to own a Alec Burleson Memphis Redbirds jersey, you can go and bid on it. As a matter of fact, I put the link up on our social media, so you should be able to find it that way.
We've got the Bama defense celebrating, and I'm going to tell you why after they show this replay. We've got a pass rush. We've got a hit on the quarterback, which leads to a pick, and Alabama has the ball back, looking to take it to the Gators.
My Florida fan roommate is not having a good time right now.
That was not a good pass either. It sailed right over the receiver's head.
So Bama putting it to the Gators here early in this one, 14-3, and more points likely coming for the Crimson Tide. All right, best way to feel good about your football team? Hear what the opposing coach has to say about him. Let's do that right now. First-year head coach who was just at Alabama last year, Charles Huff, gave his thoughts on ECU earlier this week.
This will be the best team that we've played thus far in the season, the best overall team. When you put on the film, there's nobody hiding. There's no, well, here's a weakness, or, here's a size advantage, or, they have a good system, but we have a size advantage. There's none of that. I mean, this is a real football team. And that's not a knock to anybody we've played, but we've been in a position where we've had some advantages. This game is going to create a lot of challenges for us, very different from the challenges we've had before. Obviously, the first game of the year, the challenge was the scheme. The second game of the year, the challenge was installing a new defense. This game is going to be a challenge because they're a good football team. Defensively, they're fast, they're physical, they're aggressive. They got a lot of returners returning. They got some veterans in the back end. The safety Ford does a really good job for them. He's a veteran. He's played a lot of football. You can tell in his performance that he's a veteran. These guys run to the ball. I mean, they run to the ball. They strike. They do a phenomenal job of getting the ball out. We've really overemphasized that they really put an emphasis on getting the ball out, whether that's attacking the ball in the air for interceptions or ripping the ball out from the runner. Obviously, we've got an issue with that we got to continue to talk about and get corrected. But something that's an issue for us is a positive for them, so we got to be aware of it. Probably the best that I've seen all year as far as getting the ball out or trying to get the ball out with a purpose. Obviously, I don't think their record is very indicative of their team. They're 0-2, but when you turn on the film, it's not an 0-2 football program. So our guys are aware of the challenge. with that, we got to make sure that it comes back to us. It doesn't matter who we play. We got to prepare really well. And then we got to go execute on Saturday. I think, having them here at the Joan is going to help. Hopefully the crowd can really make it really difficult for them to hear. Hopefully we can, get a couple penalties because they can't hear the snap count, which will really give us an advantage. So we're excited about the challenge, but we fully understand what we're walking into.
All right, Charles Huff there saying ECU's strength is one of their weaknesses, and that's forcing turnovers. And Marshall's put the ball on the turf way too many times through 2 games not to pay for it. Pirates need to make them pay tonight at 6 o'clock when they take on Marshall. And Huff spoke even more about that. Now, that is a key part to this ball game. Is he concerned about ECU, the way they're forcing turnovers, and the way Marshall has given up turnovers so far this year?
Yeah, I think, anytime you can learn from a mistake and win, it's perfect timing. You hope that you don't learn in a loss, and now you're going back and saying, see, I told you so. So I think, obviously, every time you play or every time you practice, every time you come to a meeting, it's a learning opportunity. It's more about, I'll be able to answer that question on Saturday night if we've improved. Because, again, we said the same thing at Navy. Can't put as many balls on the ground. Can't, turn the ball over. Can't jump off sides. Now, did we minimize some of those? Yeah, we had 7 balls on the ground or interceptions at Navy. I think we had maybe 4 at NC Central. But we got to close the gap quicker. We can't say, 7-4, 3. Oh, well, we had 3 turnovers. It was good. That could be the difference. So I think we are learning, but again, it's a constant talking about, a constant reminder, a constant focus on protecting those things.
And finally, Charles Huff gave his thoughts on East Carolina quarterback Holton Ahlers.
Yeah, I think exactly what you said. You can see he's a veteran. He doesn't get rattled. I mean, those guys have played 2 phenomenal opponents with, App State and South Carolina, and those guys have done you could see him in the game. He's got poise, whether he made a good pass, threw a touchdown, or got sacked. He came right back with the same demeanor. He's a tough kid. He had a long run there, and he got tackled and popped up. He's right back in there. I think, you can see his veteran leadership. You can see his decision making, has some veteran, tendencies to it. He knows when to step up. He knows when to run. When he does run, he's still keeping his eyes downfield. He's not like the high school quarterback. As soon as he takes off, he tucks the ball and everybody knows he's running. I think he's got good leadership skills because it looks like the guys play around him. Obviously, I don't know. I'm not in the locker room, but, it looks like they kind of, rally around him. On that last drive going down against South Carolina, some guys made some plays for him. So it's going to be a challenge for our defense. This will be the best offense we played. This will be the best defense we played and the best special teams opponents that we've played all year.
All right, there is Charles Huff. A lot of positives to say about East Carolina. While it sounds like he's blowing smoke, I think he is being factually correct. This will be their toughest test of the year after taking on a bad Navy team who fired their offensive coordinator, brought him back in as a quarterback's coach. They got issues on and off the field, and then they took advantage of a poor FCS team and beat North Carolina Central. We have another Alabama touchdown. It is 21-3 in the first quarter in the Swamp. What a machine it is for Nick Saban and those guys. Mississippi State is driving on Memphis. We'll have more score updates for you, and we'll visit with the voice, Jeff Charles, when we return on the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. We roll on hour number 3 when we return after this.
The Rick House is Eastern North Carolina's premier American-style restaurant and bourbon bar. Join us at the Rick House for mouth-watering steaks and made-from-scratch pastas. Check out the 16-ounce cowboy steak and our seafood delight pasta. The Rick House is open for lunch daily from 11 to 2, Monday through Friday. Take a break from your workday with lunch at the Rick House. Join us for our legendary brunch on Sundays from 10 to 2. The Rick House, American Provisions and Spirits, 710 Red Banks Road beside the bowling alley in Greenville.
The Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of pirates and ENC. Open 7 days a week. Plus, the Buck has live music every night, along with football. The Buck has a brand new 15-foot 4K screen, the only one in Greenville, and over 18 big screens with all your college and pro action. Sunday Fun Day will also be stocked with the biggest Bloody Mary and Mimosa bar, along with the NFL Sunday Ticket and food trucks out back. Check out the Buccaneer Music Hall. Open every day, noon until 2 a.m., with live music every night, and now football and food trucks during the day. BMS Builders is your premier custom builder in eastern North Carolina. With Blackwood and Mills Creek in Greenville, Dalton's Cove in Farmville, and Belmar in Ayden, these are just a few of the developments featuring BMS Builders homes. They can build the home of your dreams. Just ask Dr. Dennis Ross in Greenville or East Carolina football coach Mike Houston. They built their homes, and they can build yours as well. BMS Builders. Give them a call at 916-1578 for BMS Builders. Hey, this is Troy D., proud ECU grad from the class of 94. And if you know me, you know I love the 90s here at ECU. It was some of our glory days, including bowl games, the Peach Bowl, and even a March Madness appearance. Relive those days with my friends from Tailgate Classics. Tailgate Classics is a cool retro store with all types of merchandise, including the 90s ECU vintage tees and hats. Check out Tailgate Classics in person, 304 Evans Street, or online at shoptailgateclassics.com. Tailgate Classics, bringing back the throwbacks.
UBE and PirateWear.com is excited to offer Pirate Nation the largest selection of new ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young Pirates in to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kids store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking uptown in Greenville. Visit them at PirateWear.com. Go Pirates!
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hey, Pirate Nation, are you ready for some Warren's hot dogs? Warren's original Hot and Judy's mild sweet chili hot dogs have been the official hot dog of sports fans for over 30 years. Pick up a tailgate special this football season of 10 or more hot dogs for only $1.50 each. Warren's in Greenville across from Ron Ayers Motorsports and the new Chocowinity location next to the fire department. Warren's hot dogs. Want some? Get some. Go Pirates.
Hi, this is Phil Steele of Phil Steele's College Football Preview Magazine, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show. Now, with the Pirate Radio scoreboard, here's Shirley Rhodes.
All right, the start of the third quarter is underway. Number 12, Notre Dame leads Purdue 10-3. Alabama has jumped out to a 21-3 lead over Florida at the end of the first quarter. Kent State is trailing number 5 Iowa 9-7 in the second quarter. Tulsa and Ohio State are tied at 3 apiece in the second. Clemson has a 7-0 lead over Georgia Tech in the second quarter. That is a look at your Buck scoreboard, brought to you by the Buccaneer Music Hall. It's your beacon of music in the land of the Pirates in eastern North Carolina. They're open from noon until 2 a.m. with live music every night. And now during football season, they have food trucks during the day. Follow the Buck on Facebook and Instagram for an updated schedule, and we'll see ya at the Buck. Now let's head back into the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
All right, da Buck. Da Buck. Thank you, Shirley Rhodes. Thank you, Chandler, for answering the phone, because I do believe that was the voice of Jeff Charles calling in to talk some Pirate football with us here on the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Jeff, how you doing today?
Clip, I'm doing great. We're in a warm and somewhat humid Huntington, West Virginia this afternoon. A little bit warmer up here than what we thought it was going to be, but probably will be somewhere in the low 80s at kickoff time, about 85 degrees earlier this afternoon. So it's warm, but always enjoy coming up here. The people are nice, and it's a very nice stadium. And there's, of course, that forever link between East Carolina University and Marshall University, the tragedy in 1970, and they are commemorating that today. Clip, about 49 folks who were involved in the football program, including about 40 players, will actually be in the stands today for ECU. And they had a gathering this morning, a memorial service at the cemetery here in Huntington. And very emotional for those guys, and also for a lot of the Marshall players who were the next group of players after all of those players in 1970 were killed in the tragedy. And you learn as you go here. And I'd never heard this term before, but the very next year after the tragedy, they did play football, and it was a total freshman team. And here they call those guys the young herd. And so when you hear that young herd message, it just means that those were the guys who were all the freshmen who played in 1971 for Marshall.
Saw those the pictures earlier today, Jeff, and that was really really neat that those former players could be there for that. It's a shame we didn't get to commemorate that tragedy last year here in Greenville at Dowdy Ficklin Stadium, but Marshall back on the schedule hopefully for a future date here, and they'll suit it up and play football today. It's been a fun series on the field, Jeff, and some high-scoring games, some shootouts, and as we said earlier this week, East Carolina has had the edge here in Greenville. Marshall has had the advantage there in Huntington, as they will today. Marshall going into this game, Jeff, about a 10.5-point favorite.
Yeah, they are, and I think that's probably pretty accurate. Unfortunately, it seems like the guys who do that for a living hit it on the nose more often than they don't, Cliff. So again, we'll see what it plays out today. But this is a really good football team that East Carolina is playing today, and I feel for the Pirates like I did in the first game of the year against Appalachian, where you have a program like Marshall that is used to winning, and it's a winning culture here. They know how to win games, much like Appalachian. And that's what we talked about, you remember, going into the Appalachian State game a couple of weeks ago. Pirates are trying to find themselves, are trying to find a way to win games and bring that winning culture back to ECU, and they're playing a team again here today that just knows how to win. I mean, my goodness, they're coming off a year last year. They were undefeated, Cliff, and they were ranked number 15 in the country in December and undefeated, and then just a few weeks after that, the coach here, Doc Holliday, who had a great run, was fired. And so, for us outsiders looking in, it was kind of hard to figure that one out, kind of scratching our heads a little bit. But that's what happened here, and now Charles Huff has taken over. But as you and I visited earlier this week, the difference between Charles Huff taking over this program and Mike Houston taking over the Pirate program is that the cupboard was full here.
Yeah.
And he brings back a lot of all-conference players and a lot of guys who have experienced a lot of winning, and they're veteran players. And East Carolina, of course, does not have that same situation with Mike Houston coming into a program that was rock bottom when he got here. So there is a difference, and sooner or later the Pirates are going to have to knock that door down, and maybe today's the day.
Jeff Charles joining us. Jeff, let's take our first look at the Orthopedics East injury report brought to you by Orthopedics East, offering a variety of services that will get you back in the game for experienced and professional medical care. Visit Orthopedics East on W.H. Smith Boulevard in Greenville, online at orthoeast.com. Jeff, this was a lot easier when they actually gave us an injury report. Now we have to kind of do the digging on our own and ask the coaches the right questions. We know that Elijah Morris was hurt at practice a couple weeks ago and did not give it a go last week against South Carolina. They hope to have him back today. Blake Harrell said earlier in the week that Aaron Ramsour is banged up. And also, Jeff, want to ask you about the offensive line with Bailey Malavic out last week, how they played. But we know about those three guys. Do you know anything else injury-wise for the Pirates heading into the game?
Well, as far as the offensive line is concerned, Cliff, Noah Henderson, who has that history of back problems, as I understand it, his back flared up on him last week. So I'm not exactly sure how much he is going to play today. I think he will play, but he's not 100%, and how long he can go, I'm not sure. So you look at that position at right tackle, and if he can't go, they're already down to their third guy 3 games into the season, and this is an untested kid, Rob Vanderlyn, who came in from a junior college in California. So that's not good. We understand that Avery Jones, the center, has a gimpy ankle, and he's probably not going to be 100%. We expect him to play. Nishad Strother's knee is bothering him. Again, we expect him to play in the game. So,
good grief.
We've only played 2 games, and that offensive line is already banged up.
That is not great news, Jeff, as we need to protect Holden Nailers and also open some holes from the running back. On the defensive side, Jeff, what are you hearing, if anything, about Elijah Morris? You think Look, the defense played great. We had some young guys step up last week, but obviously the Pirates will be better if Morris can go. Do you know anything about him today?
Well, I don't think he's 100%, but I do think he'll play, and they need him up front. Now, Xavier McIver played very well last week. They were really happy with him. He's Elijah's backup, and he did a nice job inside in the middle there. So they've got a good player behind Elijah, they feel like now, but how much he's going to play today, I'm not exactly sure. And you mentioned Aaron Ramseur, and Aaron, from what I understand, just doesn't have that explosion, and so he's going to be limited. And then, of course, we mentioned this last week on our broadcast clip that also C.J. Johnson had that abdominal pull last week, and they think it was bothering him more than what, they really thought it might going into the game. But from what I understand, he was having a hard time just extending his arms up over his head because of that abdominal pull. And, again, I think that it's a little better today, but I don't think he's 100%, but I think we'll certainly see him out there.
Jeff, I ask you this question every week. What's your feel on this one as far as how many points does the winning team need today? How many points do the Pirates need today, you think, to win this game? You expecting a higher scoring game or a defensive game this coming up tonight?
Well, I hope the Pirates can score some points first off, Cliff. It's going to be hard because this is a very good defense that Marshall has. And last year, they only gave up 13 points a game. I mean, that's like unheard of in today's age of college football. And today they're off to a really good start with their stats, but they've not really played very good competition either. But they're good on defense. And my goodness, if the Pirates could come out here and score 30 points, I think that would be great. Now, I don't know if they could do that or not. And I don't know if the ECU defense can hold them under 30 points. I mean, this is an offense that has a lot of weapons. And the reason I say that is because in last week's game, they had 16 different players catch passes in the game last week. That's an all-time Marshall record. So if you're the play-by-play announcer, Cliff, they're going to have guys running in and running out all over the place. They've got a lot of different weapons you got to keep track of, and they've got 3 good running backs, too, that they're going to rotate in and out of there. So the Pirates have their work cut out for them. You would hope that if the Pirates could score 30 points, maybe they could keep Marshall to 27, but I think they're going to have to score at least 30 points to be able to win the game today.
16 pass catchers and also 6 ball carriers, 7 if you include the quarterback, Jeff, and those ball carriers, none of them got more than 8 carries. So they are really sharing the wealth there on offense, and I hope you and Kevin have a good spotter in the booth with you today.
Well, we do, as a matter of fact, so I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be interesting, and they play a real fast pace, too. Cliff, kind of like UCF. I don't know if they can go as fast as UCF or Memphis in recent years, but I always tell Kevin in games like this he's probably not going to be able to talk very much when Marshall has the football because they're going to line up and they're going to go quick.
Yeah, you make your words count today, Kevin. Jeff Charles joining us. By the way, Jeff, we'll let you go. Did you see the news about Dylan Gabriel? Of course, UCF losing last night to Louisville. Dylan Gabriel got injured on the last play of the game, and they're calling it a broken clavicle from what I saw. So that's pretty big news. I'm sure they have a bounty of quarterbacks down there in Orlando, but the Pirates will face the Knights coming up next month. So we probably won't be seeing Dylan Gabriel in that game.
Well, I think you're probably right. We were just talking about that in the booth, and we were watching the game last night, and it did not look good when he went down. And I really like that kid.
Yeah.
I just think that he's a winner, and I love to watch him throw. I think he throws such a good ball, and we all know the story when he came in when Mackenzie Milton got hurt and the incredible season he had and then the incredible career he's had at UCF as well. I just really hate it for the young man because he's really a quality player.
Voice, appreciate the pregame chat. Have a fantastic call coming up tonight, and we will talk to you again next week on Pirate Radio Live, and of course, hear your sports updates throughout the day on Pirate Radio here as well. We appreciate it, Jeff.
Thanks a lot, Cliff. Going to be a fun one tonight. Can't wait for the game to kick off. You have a good one, too.
Thank you, sir. There is the voice, Jeff Charles, joining us on the Fixed NC Live Line. If you got damage, call 999-0001. Use a contractor that works for you and not your insurance company. Visit fixednc.com or call Mully 999-0001. He will get you taken care of. take a time out. We'll come back. We'll go live to Huntington, back out live to Huntington, and talk to Stephen Igloo as he will join us when we return on the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Florida just held Alabama to a punt. That's a small victory. Alabama up 21-3 in that one. Mississippi State got a field goal a moment ago. It was 7-3 at last check. We'll give you an update on that score. And how about in Columbus? Ohio State did just score a touchdown, but it is 10-6. Ohio State over Tulsa. The Golden Hurricane hanging around there in the second quarter. SMU trailing Louisiana Tech 14-7. Skip and the Bulldogs with the lead there in the second quarter. That's a quick look at your Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard. We'll have more for you on that scoreboard when we return after this.
Hello folks, this is Jamie Lane with Carolina Hardscapes and Mulch. We believe that making memories with your family and friends is what life is all about. If you have a dream of having a backyard patio, fireplace, pool, walkways, fire pits, or more, then Carolina Hardscapes is the place to call at 364-1201. You can stop by our outdoor showroom on Fire Tower Road across from Bostic Sugg Furniture. At Carolina Hardscapes, we look forward to making your backyard the place to be. Find us on the web at carolinahardscapesandmulch.com.
When your family gathers around a shakaroni from Papa John's, you're sharing more than extra cheese and pepperoni. You're sharing scholarships, meals, and laughter. Because $1 from every shakaroni goes to charity. That's pizza with a purpose.
Hey, Pirate fans, the Shakaroni Pizza is back, and only for $13. Plus $1 from every purchase goes to charity. The Shakaroni is an MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
Tired and sluggish? Down in the dumps? Or just have the blahs? Maybe you need to hydrate. Revive Health and Wellness on East 10th Street in Greenville offers IV hydration that can help you with lack of energy, improve your mood, assist with immunity, even fix a hangover. Locally owned and operated, the team at Revive Health and Wellness are experienced and licensed registered nurses that will assist you in preparing for your IV session. Call or text today with questions or to set an appointment with Revive Health and Wellness. 252-350-1805. That's 252-350-1805.
Mercer Glass is clearly different.
Hi, this is Todd Mitchum with Mercer Glass, Eastern North Carolina's most complete glass company. Mercer Glass specializes in windows, shower doors, auto glass, and mirrors. We can install or repair almost anything made of glass in your home or business. So give us a call at Mercer Glass. That's 752-5101. That's 752-5101.
North Carolina State Parks is proud to announce that they have partnered with the Hometown Strong program. Our visitor centers are now equipped with public Wi-Fi to help kids with school. Remote learning has become a critical public health measure in maintaining social distance and continuing to educate our young people. Take advantage of Wi-Fi and a hike at Goose Creek State Park or a day trip to the beach and access remote learning at Fort Macon State Park. For more information, visit hometownstrong.nc.gov.
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsay Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
Pirate Radio.
And you write that down, because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. Or you don't coach at East Carolina, you don't come to East Carolina, you don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it!
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. For the latest breaking news, interesting stories, and awesome contests that can make you a winner, be sure to follow Pirate Radio on our various social media. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram at PR927FM. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it's at FreePR927FM. Join the close to 50,000 followers today. Now let's head back into the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
Back with you on the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. We are trying to get Stephen Igloo on the phone. He is not.
That may be him. Hang on.
Okay, we got a phone call. Whoever it is, just put him right on the air. And if it's not Stephen, we'll just do a full report with this caller. How about that? No, I'm joking, Shirley.
You want me to do that?
No, just
okay.
answer the That could be dangerous with some of the calls we get here in the Pirate Radio studios. Looking forward to your calls later tonight on the U.S. Sailor 5th quarter call-in show. As we'll be here, I'm going to say, around 9:30, 9:40. These games last forever, so it'll be a late start, and we'll probably get out of here. We'll definitely get out of here after midnight tonight as we will roll on as long as you are calling. Stephen Igo, a.k.a. Stephen Igloo, a.k.a. the original Iggy. Before Andre Iguodala, there was Stephen Igo. He joins us here on the Fixed NC Live line. Stephen, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Cliff. How you guys doing?
Doing all right. How was the drive to Huntington, West Virginia?
It was good. It wasn't too bad. The last time I came up here, it was November, around Thanksgiving, and much colder, much icier on the ground. This time, no problems at all on the road. Luckily, Ronnie was a trooper. He drove the entire way. We only stopped once, and we got a late lunch in because we're not being fed in the press box. So we're going to have that hold us over until about 10 or 11. But excited for what should be a good game.
Steve, I like to get to know my guest and who I'm talking to, kind of the man behind the curtain. And, Stephen, I want to know, are you a mountain man?
No.
Okay. Just wanted to know. Stephen Igo joining us today on the Fixed NC Live line. Igo, how does this offense get clicking today against Marshall? That's a good question.
I can't believe you would ask me if I'm a mountain man. You know I'm an igloo man, so of course I'm not going to be in the mountains.
Well, okay, let's go down the line of questioning. Are igloos can igloos be built on the side of a mountain, or do you have to have a flat surface?
I would think you would have to have a flat surface. I'm a frozen tundra man, so
yeah,
I really like Lambeau Field. Steven Igloo.
All right, before this goes completely off the rails, there are some fans that think ECU bounces back today offensively. For that to happen, how, why, when, who, what, when, where? I'm pretty down on this offense right now, but we've seen them bounce back at times before, so it certainly is not without without the realm of possibility that it could happen today. What would lead? Give me some kind of confidence that East Carolina can move the ball offensively today.
Well, I think that they have two really good running backs and an offensive line that has ran the ball at times. Well, the first 2 weeks, they averaged 4 yards a carry against South Carolina, which we know has a pretty good defensive front, no matter how bad their overall team might be. So I think ECU's got to get back to running the football, and fans might not want to hear that. They want to hear about, opening it up. But they've really thrown the ball a lot more than they've run it these first 2 weeks, or at least they've dropped back to pass the throw. So to me, that's been a struggle. The drop-back passing game has been a struggle. You got to get back to running the football, and that means relying on your two bell cows, Rajay Harris, Keaton Mitchell. We've seen what they can do. Your offensive line has been much better at this point in terms of run blocking than pass blocking. And if you can run the football, that slows down Marshall's speedy defense, and then you can have more success through the air. So I would like to see them really commit to the run today. I know a lot of people want to see them go up-tempo, spread it out, do all that stuff. I'm fine going up-tempo, but I want to see them run the football and give Rajay and Keaton each close to, 15, 16, 17 carries.
And if they are successful doing that, Stephen, I'm a big football guy, so I'm going to say this. That could open up the passing game.
Yeah, it is usually how it works. When you're able to run the football, it does open up the passing game, specifically the play-action passing game. Somebody told me that once. I can't remember. Somebody also told me it's either a run or a pass, and whichever team can figure it out quicker usually wins.
I've heard that too. I can't remember where that came from. I go, boy, we didn't have a great chat with Jeff Charles a moment ago going over the Orthopedics East injury report. Sounds like a lot of Pirates are going to play today, but a lot of Pirates are banged up, especially on the offensive line. He mentioned, of course, Bailey Malovic out for the year. He mentioned Noah Henderson having a bit of a flare-up last week. Avery Jones dealing with some things. So it sounds like we're going to have the bodies out there, but maybe not 100% for some of these guys on the O-line.
Yeah, Noah Henderson basically missed the majority of the second half against South Carolina, but I thought Rob Vanderland, the transfer from Oregon State, stepped in and played good. Sounds like Noah will be back today, so you could see both those guys play. You probably will see both those guys play. Avery Jones went down with an ankle pretty much the last play of the South Carolina game, but he's moving around at practice this week. It looks like he'll play too. So, I mean, those guys are going to get bumps and bruises throughout the year. Marshall's probably already dinged up at a few places as well. I think one thing I do know is that Miles Berry will play today, according to what I've been told, despite the passing of his father just a couple of days ago. So, not an injury per se, but, Miles will be playing with a very heavy heart. Prayers out to that young man. One of my favorite interviews on the team. So hopefully he can, come together with his teammates, have a good game on the defensive side of the ball.
Stephen Igo, Hoist the Colors, joining us. The MVP so far for ECU this year, you could argue, is John Young. And Igo, we're still waiting to see a special teams breakout return. One of your bold predictions was ECU will have, was it kick or punt return in 2021?
I predicted a punt return for a touchdown.
All right. Are we close to breaking one of those? Talked to Tyler Snead on Monday. He says he always feels like every one is going to be the one he takes to the house. So, maybe this is a game where they need something like that, a block punt, a block kick. We haven't seen anything like that so far this season. And if the Pirates are going to win as a road underdog, you need things like that to go your way.
Yeah, I think they need to find a way to turn over the football at least a couple times or hit a big play in special teams, and they've shown potential of that early in the Mike Houston era. I think they've got to find a way to capture that today, especially with Marshall having some turnover-prone moments the first two games. That hasn't bitten them because they haven't played in competitive games, but it could bite them today if the Pirates are able to show up. So, hopefully an early play or two, and if they do get an early play or two, that's a big one on the offense or the defense side of the ball. The offense needs to quit messing around and catch it in. You can't keep turning the football over and not putting those or converting those into points. You can't miss opportunities against a good football team.
Any post-game plans? You and Ronnie going to go out, find a bar and watch football, or take it to the hotel? What are you doing tonight?
Probably we'll take it to the hotel to get a good night's sleep. We're both new fathers, and I think we'll cherish every hour on this trip.
That is a really good point. Enjoy the rest coming up tonight with no crying or waking up going on. That's a really good point. Stephen, thanks for your time. As always, we'll chat with you again coming up Tuesday on Pirate Radio Live. Everybody can check out some last-minute reading on hoistthecolors.net as we head into this football game. Keep it classy. Keep it cool, Igloo. How about that?
I'll be keeping it cool. You guys have a good one.
Bye. Oh. There is Stephen Igo, Hoist the Colors, joining us on the Fixed NC Live Line. Believe it or not, wrapping up hour number 3 of this program. It flies by, baby. All right, hour 4. We got Morgan Ehlers live from Huntington. We've got Blake Harrell one-on-one with Jeff Charles. We got Brian North. We have our fantasy picks, our predictions, and a lot more scores on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard. We got all that and more, believe it or not. How do we fit it all in? That's on the way. Hour 4 of the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. We're back with you after this.
Do you suffer from allergies, asthma, or any other sinus problems? Perhaps professional cleaning of your air ducts could help. Family owned and operated in Winterville for over 22 years, Carolina Quality Air was the first certified duct cleaning company in Eastern North Carolina. From residential to commercial, they can handle any size job, big or small, including our studios here at Pirate Radio. Carolina Quality Air uses a sanitizer that kills mold in your ductwork and over 100 viruses, including the coronavirus. Visit them online at CarolinaQualityAir.com. Guess what, Greenville? Calzones are back. Community Calzone is the only restaurant in town specializing in calzones. Choose from over 50 different calzones, or you design your own with unlimited options, including vegetarian. Community Calzone also features wings, huge salads, and more. Plus, they deliver to almost everywhere in Pitt County. Located on Greenville Boulevard next to Ashley Furniture Warehouse, they're open for lunch, dinner, and late night for dine-in, pickup, or delivery. It's Community Calzone.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
Are you suffering from anxiety, sleep issues, or chronic pain? Have you heard of CBD? You can learn about the benefits of CBD right here in Greenville at the Hemp Garden. Hemp Garden offers a variety of products and solutions that are truly making a difference in our community. Hemp Garden also provides products that can assist with energy and focus. Have a pet? Come check out their selection of CBD pet products. Visit Hemp Garden to speak with a CBD specialist in a relaxed and welcoming environment today. Exclusive discounts are offered to first-time customers. Hemp Garden, located at 3040 South Evans Street in the Target Shopping Center in Greenville. Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Grifols Biomat USA. At Grifols, it adds up fast. New donors can earn up to $1,000 in your very first month. It's the easiest way to make extra money. Start now at Biomat USA, 505 South Memorial Drive, Greenville. Find your donor center at grifolsplasma.com. Make up to $1,000 in a month and save lives now at Grifols Biomat USA. A better donor experience and better pay.
Every team knows that the two-point play can be a winning move. That's why I'm here. State Farm agent Timothy Sawyer and my team are here to help you go for two by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call that saves you time and money. So go for the win and score some savings by combining your home and auto. It's just another way we're here to help life go right. Call me, Timothy Sawyer, at 493-0002 today.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show. Now, with the Pirate Radio scoreboard, here's Shirley Rhodes.
All right, Purdue is trying to make this game interesting as they now only trail Notre Dame by 4. It's 17-13 Fighting Irish in the third quarter. Alabama is about 6 minutes left to go in the first half. Still have that 21-3 lead over Florida. Number 5, Iowa leads Kent State 16-7 in the second. Tulsa trails Ohio State 10-6. Tulsa does have the ball at the Tulsa 23 with about 4 minutes to go in the first half. Clemson still holding on to a 7-0 lead over Georgia Tech in the second. And number 20, Arkansas has a 14-0 lead over Georgia Southern in the second quarter. That is a look at your Buck scoreboard, brought to you by the Buccaneer Music Hall as your beacon of music in the land of the Pirates in Eastern North Carolina. The Buccaneer Music Hall is open from noon until 2 a.m. with live music every night. And now during football season, they have I'd like to try that again. So I'm just going to... Okay. The scoreboard brought to you by the Buccaneer Music Hall is your beacon of music in the land of the Pirates in Eastern North Carolina. They're open from noon until 2 a.m. with live music every night. And now during football season, they have food trucks during the day. Follow the Buck on Facebook and Instagram for an updated schedule. See ya at the Buck. Now let's head back into the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, we've got a Florida touchdown as they get into the end zone, making it 21-9. PAT pending. Coach Irvin Meyer, of course, now with Jacksonville. But Tim Tebow is at the game Florida with a score as they try to make it a game against Alabama. Spoiler alert, my screen on the computer says PAT missed. I'm about to watch it happen on TV. Jeff Nadeau's over looking good in Wake Forest, Florida State, as that is 24-14, and they're still in the first half. Wake with that lead. So we will keep you up to date on what's going on the scoreboard. Brought to you by The Buck.
The Buck.
That PAT was indeed missed, so it is 21-9. Alabama with the lead over Florida. We will now head out to the Fixed NC Live line and visit with Morgan Ehlers, the voice of Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium, the host of the High School Huddle. He joins us live from Huntington. Morgan, how you doing, man?
Hey, Cliff. How you doing, guys?
Hey, doing great. We are about an hour away from kickoff. What's the atmosphere like at Jones C. Edwards Stadium?
I think it's going to be a really good crowd tonight. There's a few clouds in the air. The part of the team has just came out onto the field. The warm-ups have started now, and I think it's going to be a really good turnout here from Marshall, and I think East Carolina is going to be well represented as well.
Morgan, we have an opportunity to talk to the players on Monday. We talked to Holton Ahlers, C.J. Johnson, Tyler Snead, Xavier Smith, Bruce Bivens. And despite the 0-2 start, they still seem locked in for this season. In fact, they seem more motivated than ever. So, these early season losses can really get to guys, but it sounds like they have remained focused and locked in and still know there's a lot of football left this season.
Oh, I agree. I mean, it's just 2 games. I mean, they play 12 a year, and this is a key game for them, I think. I think this is a game that is fairly evenly matched. Eliminate the mistakes that you've seen in games 1 and 2, and I think hopefully it'll be a good outcome for the Pirates. I know Marshall, on the other hand, you and I talked about this yesterday. They played Navy and North Carolina A&T Central. I'm not really sure which one it was, but they haven't been tested. And I think if the Pirate defense plays like it did last week, it could be a very interesting night here in Huntington.
They played the one that didn't beat ECU a few years ago. They played North Carolina Central, so that was there.
That'll work.
Yeah.
They didn't get to see the money.
Yeah, Sam Washington, they didn't bring him any money after that game. Morgan Ehlers joining us. Morgan, how's the tailgating in Marshall? How's it compare to Greenville?
It's kind of spread out, to be real honest with you. The stadium is on campus. It's situated on the campus area, and it's sort of spread out. It's coming in. It's all, sororities, fraternities, that kind of thing, all everywhere. And there's people sticking tents up in parking lots and alleys, and cool little area here in Huntington. And the people, believe it or not, are extremely nice. And looking forward to telling them after the game, good game, and we'll see you down the road. We appreciate it because we're going to win.
It's been a good series, Morgan, and been good for the fans as well, the traveling fans to Marshall here in Greenville, and same way going up to Huntington. And it's been a series where ECU has had Marshall's number here at home, and Marshall's played well on the road against the Pirates. So ECU trying to bug that trend today. Mike Houston talked about first road game, true road game for ECU this year, so that's another factor in today's contest.
Yeah, it's again, with the crowd going to be in here, it's always rowdy in here in Marshall. They're good football fans, and they're so polite coming into the stadium. I think that afterwards it's not going to be quite as polite once the game starts. But it's just fun to play football and get out here and have people and fans versus last year. And these guys need to go out here and have some fun and play the game they're capable of.
Morgan, look, I like you as a guest. I wish we were talking to Mr. T right now for a prediction, but we got to settle for you. What's your prediction for today's game?
I hate to predict a game. I think it's going to be 35-28, East Carolina.
There you go. That was easy. It wasn't painful.
In 20-something years of doing this clip, I've never predicted against the Pirates.
There's a disclaimer for everyone listening. Morgan, thanks for the chat. Have fun at the tailgate and enjoy the game, man.
Thank you, bud. Appreciate it.
All right, there is Morgan Ehlers, DJ Captain Morgan. He's the host of the High School Huddle. And, man, another one on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard after leaving the volleyball game last night at Minges Coliseum. I listened to Alan Vick and Rob Maloney loud and clear on Pirate Radio, and that was a thriller there in Durham, but unfortunately Conley comes up 1 point short last night in their game. I saw North Pitt blew out an opponent. So good to see some high school action going on. I know a lot of games also postponed due to COVID and other reasons, but there was some action, and we'll have more action for you Friday night right here on Pirate Radio, D.H. Conley football, as it's about time to get into conference play with some of these games. So looking forward to that moving forward. All right, looking at some scores going on right now, Mississippi State has a 10-7 lead over Memphis. Florida, man, they just got a sack, had Alabama. They forced a punt, and we've got they did force a punt. So Florida has the ball down 21-9, 4:21 left to go in the first half. And if the Gators score here, watch out. Bama has been stymied. They got 10 yards in the second quarter. So Florida's defense has certainly woken up and has played well in the second quarter. Some other scores going on our Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard. Purdue has the ball, but it looks like they're about to punt. They trail Notre Dame 17-13 late in the third quarter. Ohio State fooling around with Tulsa here. It's 10-6 as they're about to head to the locker room, but Ohio State has the ball in Tulsa territory trying to tack on some more points. SMU hits the field goal. They have taken a 16-14 lead into the locker room at the half over Louisiana Tech. So SMU 2-0. Louisiana Tech trying to pull the upset today at home. Any other action? Wake Forest is about to score again with 33 seconds left to go in the second quarter. They lead 24-14, but they have it second and goal, trying to add some points. Georgia Tech and Clemson are delayed with a 7-0 score. Clemson leading Georgia Tech. Arkansas up 21-7 on Georgia Southern, and Duke is absolutely hammering Northwestern 24-0. That score.
Is that the Battle of the Brains Bowl?
Yeah, and right now I don't know if Duke they got the brains and the brawn as they lead Northwestern 24-0 in the second quarter. I did not see that coming. Florida gets the ball in Alabama territory, so we'll keep an eye on this one and have more for you when we return. When we do return, Blake Harrell and Jeff Charles one-on-one. What do you got, Shirley?
I was going to say also, quick volleyball update. ECU swept Appalachian State 3-0.
All right, good win for Adler Augustine and the Pirates. There you go. Take a timeout, come back, roll on. Hour 4, the Bud Light pregame tailgate. Jeff Charles, Blake Harrell when we return after this.
Why do I run? Is it because I'm driven? Because I love the challenge? God, no. I do it for the beer. If you're the kind of runner who does it for the beer, this summer you can get one on us with the Michelob Ultra Beer Run. Grab your run buddies and get out there, because this summer there's beer at the finish line. Sign up at ultrabeerrun.com and trade your miles for beer.
At US Cellular, we believe you should get more of the latest 5G technology for less of your hard-earned money. Right now, get up to $1,200 off any 5G phone. The choice is yours. Any of our 5G phones with no trade-in or hidden fees. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
This is Brandon Tate, owner and operator of Atlantic Wireless, an authorized agent for US Cellular since 1997. Visit atlanticwireless.com to find the store near you. We go beyond the call.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal: to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get an all-new 2021 Buick Encore GX. Save over $3,000 or 0% financing for 72 months. As always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty on all new and pre-owned vehicles.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
Other food delivery apps charge surprise fees, but Domino's is giving away $50 million worth of surprise frees, like free pizza, lava cakes, or cheesy bread when you order delivery online. And we found some unique ways to get the word out.
Like shouting from the rooftop! Free cheesy! Screaming it!
We even called Paul Revere.
Free lava cakes are coming!
Order delivery online and you could get a surprise free from Domino's. No purchase necessary. Open U.S. residents 13 and up through 11/21/21. Odds of winning are 1 in 14. See rules at surprisefreeze.domino's.com for free entry, blackout dates, restrictions, and details.
This is Holt Nailers, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Did you miss a show on Pirate Radio? Listen to all of Pirate Radio's archived local programming by subscribing to us on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, or Spotify. Subscribe today by going to the podcast app on your iPhone or Apple device and search for Pirate Radio Audio Archives. Now let's head back in to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, back with you on the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, about 48-ish minutes away from kickoff between the Pirates and Marshall. Once again, this game can be seen on Facebook. It is not on a television channel. You can get the Facebook app on your TV somehow or hook up an HDMI cord to your computer and watch it that way, but it is not on a television channel. You can go to facebook.com/live CUSA and watch the game right there. It'll be a nice presentation. It'll look like you're watching it on CBS Sports Network, but it will be on your computer screen. I guess this is a thing. I don't know if this guy does this every week, but I found it pretty interesting. Chris Vanini from The Athletic says Florida gives us our 6th missed extra point of the day, joining Nebraska, Minnesota, Western Michigan, Pitt, and Cincinnati. So your missed extra point counter sitting at 6 right now, and we still got a lot of games left to go in our college football evening.
And I think we're seeing a lot in the National Football League as well so far this season.
Now, in college, they hadn't pushed it back like they have the NFL. College, it's still the simple, just knock it through,
chip shot,
and move on about your business. The NFL has moved it back, but these kickers, I tell you who's not missing any kicks.
Graham Gano.
Yeah. Tony Dunn came on here Friday and still said Graham Gano stinks.
I listened to that segment, and I was driving. So,
he said how many in a row? Is it in the 30s?
It's 31. He's made 31 straight field goals, I want to say.
And he was booming them from 50 plus, right down Broadway.
Watching that game Thursday night, and congratulations to your football team, by the way, but watching Graham Gano just be automatic really was a pain in my heart because, look, we were struggling
before the Panthers, right?
The Washington football team.
Yeah.
I actually forgot about that.
Yep.
Yeah, so, the Redskins at the time. But, Graham Gano was a very reliable kicker for the Carolina Panthers. And then, there toward the end of his career, he actually did get hurt. And then here comes Joey Sly. Joey Sly shows that he can be a reliable kicker for the Panthers. And then we saw what he did in the preseason. And now it's just like the revolving door. And so now we will see. Last week we saw Santoso against the Jets. This week we will see Zane Gonzalez because Santoso has been released. So I don't know. Maybe Zane Gonzalez can do a good enough job to come back on that Thursday night against the Texans. But yeah, we have some kicker problems in Carolina, and it just stunk seeing Graham Gano do so well the other night.
Definitely. And I know a lot of people, Tony included, are clamoring for Jake Verity. I mean, the reason...
Why does he hate Graham Gano? Does he have a reason?
I don't know.
Probably because of the missed field goals that he in big time situations.
Well, obviously, yeah, that would be it. It's nothing personal. It's kicking. So,
well, yeah, but I think he just hates to hate.
The reason, and look, you could, if Jake Verity was sitting on a couch, sure, you could bring him in and have him kick, but he is a member of the Ravens organization, right? He's on the practice squad,
yes.
Meaning you have to trade for him, and teams just don't want to give up assets for a kicker.
We did that for Santoso.
Okay, well, I'm wrong. The Panthers just chose the wrong guy.
Yeah, we did that for Santoso. So
whose squad was he on?
The Giants.
Oh, wow. So he
was the...
All right, never mind.
He was the guy behind...
the Panthers are willing to give up crap to get a crap kicker.
I shouldn't have said that out loud.
No, maybe... Okay, well, now I'm blaming the Panthers on this. They should bring in Jake Verity.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
But maybe they should have gambled on Jake Verity instead of Santoso. And that's easy to say now.
Sure.
Because
hindsight. Touchdown Mississippi State. That is good. They lead Memphis 17-7 with 5 minutes left to go in the second quarter. I love the Panthers tomorrow. Love them plus the 3.5.
It's the Brock lock of the week.
Money line, the Brock lock, which, by the way, I love Northwestern today, too. They're down 24-0 in the second quarter. So, sorry, Panthers fans. You're going to get boat raced by Jameis tomorrow. All right, Shirley, let's hear Jeff Charles one-on-one with ECU defensive coordinator Blake Harrell. But before we do that, a quick look at the UBE stat sheet. East Carolina allowing 26 points per contest. They're allowing 163 yards on the ground, and that means they had a good performance week 2 because App State went 200 plus. South Carolina barely cracked 100 on the Pirates last week, so that number has come down. That is great to see. Passing yardage, that went down as well with South Carolina struggling at QB, but 241 yards a game through the air. So East Carolina now allowing a total of 404 yards and a half through 2 weeks. Third down conversions has been awesome for East Carolina, 6 of 23. Now, that number was helped out drastically by South Carolina last week and their inability on third down. Teams have not tried a fourth down attempt on ECU as of yet. In the red zone, teams are 6 out of 7 on touchdowns on scoring in the red zone. Teams are 3 out of 7 scoring red zone touchdowns. I need to ask Rick Smith next week, what's a good red zone touchdown number? Teams are scoring just under half the times in the red zone, 3 out of 7 right now, for 43% on the Pirates. Let's hear that chat with the ECU defensive coordinator Blake Harrell with the voice Jeff Charles.
Visit now with ECU defensive coordinator Blake Harrell. And, Coach, let's talk about this Marshall offense that you'll be facing this afternoon. Marshall has been putting a lot of points on the board, as we both know, averaging 46.5 points a game. It starts with their quarterback, Grant Wells. So tell us about him and tell us about the weapons he has.
Yeah, some very impressive numbers coming out of Marshall at 46 points a game, like you mentioned, and all the yards they're putting up through the air and through the ground. And I think it all starts with Grant Wells. He's playing at a high level right now. Live, strong arm, gets the ball down the field, whether it's on the deep ball or just intermediate routes, and making good decisions and playing really well right now. So, and then he makes things happen with his feet as well. If it's not there and it breaks down, he's athletic and runs well enough to pick up the first down with his feet. So you got to account for him in all phases, on the ground and in the air, and he's got some weapons around him pretty special too. So we got our hands full, and it's a team that we've kind of been starting for the last 2 years. So we thought we were going to play them last year, and it's the same group of guys, so you have some familiarity with them. But they're a year older, and they're in a system where it's really showing their athleticism.
Coach, you talked about the weapons that Grant Wells has around him. I'm sure you're aware of this. They had 16 different players catch passes last week, which is an all-time record for Marshall football. They not only have a couple of guys who can make plays, they've got a bunch of guys who can make plays.
No doubt. I mean, we're all familiar with Corey Gamage, 7, and the 1 and 0 and 9, those guys, and 11, the tight end. Corey Gaines is a really good player, and the tailbacks. But as you mentioned, there'll be a new guy every time you turn on the film. You're like, oh, what number is he? Where's he at? And you may be second or third on the depth chart, but he's still out there making plays and making some really good receptions. And they like to spread the ball around, whether it's a tight end, a receiver, or a tailback. So all of them are getting touches, and all of them are dangerous once they touch the ball.
Coach, congratulations on a great effort by your defense last week. I mean, the guys just played lights out, did a terrific job. When you reviewed the tape from last week's game, what did you see?
Well, our goal at the end of the day is to get wins, and that's our number one objective, no matter how ugly or pretty that looks. And that's what we want to do. That's what our players want to do. That's what this program is about. And I thought our kids played hard, great effort, and high energy. The execution was much better than week 1. We made huge improvements from week 1. And I thought, we shut the run game down until late in the game there, and we were able to create some turnovers and negative plays. So we're playing the game, starting to play the game the way we want to play the game. We just got to continue to keep doing that and find ways to get better every single week. We can't. Week 2 cannot be our best week of football defensively. So we got to find a way to get better this week and keep pushing forward and find ways to get W's.
Let's talk about those turnovers. You guys forced 3 turnovers. I know you really emphasize that each and every day. So it had to be gratifying to see that pay off.
Yeah, I wish one more. I know Tegan Wilk punched one out late in the game there, and right before they tied it up, and that would have been a nice one if it would have bounced our way to recover there. But you're just really proud of those guys. You know, they take a lot of pride in that, punching the ball out, you know, playing the ball well in the air, or just getting a hand in the quarterback's face, making him throw a high ball and getting pressure on him. So it's a team effort. It's, you know, the guys in the front, guys in the back, everybody's doing their part and making it a focus. So just really proud of those guys and the effort they're putting forth in that.
I know it's a team effort, Coach, but as you took a look at the tape following the game, where there are 2 or 3 or 4 guys that really stood out, that graded out well last week?
Yeah, I think we had a bunch, you know, just of guys just really playing with all out effort. I mean, Warren Saban made a play on the pick early in the game, you know, first drive that just did a really nice job picking the vertical ball up there. And Jeremy Lewis had some nice plays throughout the day. You know, just so there's several guys that just triggered really well at the second and third level, playing the run and stopping that early in the game. And just a nice job by those guys executing, and just really excited about those and hope they continue to do that.
Such a great effort by your defense last week, Coach. Do you think that can carry over? I mean, is that a confidence factor now that the guys will come out and line up week to week and say, hey, we can stop these guys?
Well, we've all known that we can do, you know, we have the capability to do that, and they can go out and make plays, and we've shown that in practice, and we've finally shown it on a game stage, and now we just got to be consistent about that. So it does add confidence to us, and I think you know, anytime you're playing with confidence helps you play faster and you know, play better. But we got to continue to do that week to week to week. So we got to make sure we should go out and do that against Marshall, and you know, really last week, yeah, it helps you from a confidence factor, but last week's not going to help you win a game this week. So we got to go out and play one, and after that play two, and do the things we want to do. And that's getting downhill, doing a great job tackling, and getting 11 hats to the football.
I'm glad you said played faster, because that's the way it looked when we were watching the game last week, Coach. And the players said we were triggering faster. Was that because you had one game under your belt and everybody just felt a little bit more confident out there to play a little faster, you think?
Yeah, and I think week one we just kind of were hesitant and we didn't turn it loose, and that was our big focus last week was just turn it loose. Let's get down here and go play and turn it loose and see where it ends up. And that's what they did, and just really proud of that and how they were doing it. And so that was our focus. You know, hey, if you happen to fit it wrong, you fit it wrong. Somebody behind you will make it right, but let's go do it fast, and let's play with no hesitation.
That's ECU defensive coordinator Blake Harrell.
All right, the Pirate defense stood tall last week and played well enough to win, but did not get that W. Let's see if they have a repeat performance in them today against a much better overall offense. Certainly not a one-dimensional offense with Grant Wells at quarterback, and then what they can do running the football with a lot of different runners, and they'll throw the ball to those backs out of the backfield, we've learned this week as well. Tough test for the Pirates today, coming up at 6 o'clock on Facebook. All right, let's take a timeout. We'll come back. When we return, we'll check in with WCTI 12's Brian North. We'll look around at what's going on in college football, get his thoughts on Marshall ECU, and more. That's on the way. We roll on hour 4 of the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Back with you after this.
Burgers, wings, hand-cut, hand-breaded chicken tenders, fresh salads, and cold beer is the starting lineup at Tiebreakers and has been keeping customers happy for 20 years. Tiebreakers family atmosphere is the perfect place to come watch your favorite team play while enjoying a great lunch or dinner. In a hurry or looking for catering options? Get Tiebreakers to go. That now includes the new curbside pickup by ordering online at tiebreakersnc.com. Tiebreakers.
Tommy's Express Car Wash is the car wash Greenville is talking about. At the corner of Red Banks Road and Greenville Boulevard, this state-of-the-art wash will keep your car looking great. And now Tommy's has just launched its new 2.0 Tommy's Express app. And anyone who downloads the app now will receive 30 free days of washing with their top-of-the-line wash, the Works Wash. Download the Tommy's Express app now by going to your app store or visit them on location, open 7 days a week at the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road.
You know texting while driving is dangerous. That's not new information. Yet most people admit to doing it anyway. Drivers are 23 times more likely to be involved in a car accident while texting. Know the facts and wait to text. The danger is real and it applies to you. Auto Owners Insurance, the no problem people. Information provided by Virginia Tech Transportation Institute.
This is Norm Bryant with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates.
UBE and PirateWear.com is excited to offer Pirate Nation the largest selection of new ECU merchandise and tailgate supplies ever. UBE has the best prices in town, so that makes UBE your one-stop shop for all things ECU. UBE does daily restocks of Champion, Adidas, and Under Armour. Don't forget to bring your young Pirates in to plunder the Crow's Nest, which is the only kids store dedicated to ECU. Plenty of free parking uptown in Greenville. Visit them at PirateWear.com. Go Pirates!
This is Coach Blake Carroll, defense coordinator for East Carolina football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show. Now, with the Pirate Radio scoreboard, here's Shirley Rhodes.
All right, in top 25 play, Notre Dame has tacked on a few more points, so they have extended their lead over Purdue. It is 20-13 in the fourth quarter. Alabama has gone into the locker room at the half, leading Florida 21-9. Number 5, Iowa leads Kent State 16-7 in the third quarter. At the half, it's Ohio State 13, Tulsa 6. And, of course, the Clemson-Georgia Tech game has been delayed due to lightning, and Clemson holding a 7-0 lead in that game. Arkansas leads Georgia Southern 24-7 in the second quarter. That is a look at your Buck scoreboard, brought to you by the Buccaneer Music Hall. It's your beacon of music in the land of the Pirates in eastern North Carolina. They're open from noon until 2 a.m. with live music every night, and now during football season, they have food trucks during the day. Follow the Buck on Facebook and Instagram for an updated schedule. We'll see you at the Buck. Now let's head back in to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, we've also got more fighting in the stands in college football games.
Gotta love it.
I'm gonna let you people guess where this was. I'm not even gonna say where it was. You've got people without their shirts on in jean shorts fighting in the stands.
Can I take a guess?
You can go ahead and take a guess.
West Virginia.
I said I wasn't going to say who it was, but Chandler, you have guessed it. Well done. You win this round.
You totally gave it away with the outfit.
Rednecks fighting in the stands. So, yeah, that happened earlier today. West Virginia also won on the field against Virginia Tech earlier today. And there's a look at your Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard, brought to you by Da Buck.
Da Buck.
Let's head out to the Fixed NC Live Line and talk to Brian North here on this Saturday. We just talked to North yesterday, and I told Brian that, man, a game I love in the 3:30 window, I like Northwestern to come from Evanston, Illinois, and put it to the Blue Devils. And Brian, right now, Duke leads at 27-7 in the second quarter. So,
as soon as you told me that, I went straight to my bookie and I put everything I had on Duke. So, it worked out really well.
Congratulations on that. You'll be able to buy your daughter some new gear or some bread, maybe.
Some bread. We're headed to go pick up some pizza as we speak to get ready for the ECU game on Facebook.
Speaking of, do you have Facebook, Brian?
I do.
Okay.
I do. I don't know if I know how to watch a game on Facebook, but I do have a couple Facebook accounts, a professional one and a personal one.
All right, good deal. And I run the Brian North Burner account on Facebook, so I'll be watching it on that one. Speaking of pizza, for you folks around this area, make sure you check out Cucinella's. They hooked us up with some pies and some gelato and Italian ice. Shirley has gone 2 deep already on the Italian ice and gelato. She'll make it 3 deep later in the day, I'm sure. Cucinella's on Old Tar Road across from Plant & C. Cucinellas.com, Facebook, and Instagram. You can find them there as well. Brian, Pirates need to step it up offensively today to have a chance. They're going to have to keep up with Marshall and their offense. And Pirates are probably going to need to hit the 30s today, right, Brian? If they want to.
I think that's a safe bet. I think you get to, with the defense that they've had and how well they play, but I don't know if they can keep that up all year long. So you're going to have I'd say anywhere 32 to 35 gives you a real reasonable chance to win this game today.
Now, how do they go about doing that? They have yet to hit 20 points this season, Brian, so everything needs to be better. What in particular would you like to see the Pirates doing well today offensively?
That's the thing. We talked all along about how different coaches, different offensive coordinators. So now you're in your third year of a starting quarterback, a head coach, and an offensive coordinator. And yet this is, it just has seemed out of sync, which I'm still trying to figure out what the plan is. One of the things I keep going back to, if you look at the success where he's had it, he's always wanted to have a strong defense and a conservative offense.
Yeah.
And I think maybe they're trying to go too conservative offensively already with the defense improving is the only thing that I can think of. But they just look out of sync, especially on simple things like screen passes. I've seen more blown screen passes with this ECU offense in 2 games than, gosh, I can ever remember in a whole season, because a screen pass is really a pretty fundamental play that you practice a ton. And so there's just something that's out of sync there, finding the plays that Holton feels comfortable with, maybe opening it back up a little bit, taking a few more risks. They opened last week with a trick play, and it works. And what do they do offensively for the rest of the time after that? Not that I'm a huge proponent of trick plays, but you have to do things to open things up offensively and get a little creative. And I'm just wondering if they've stifled some of that creativity, knowing their defense is a little bit better this year.
Yeah, got to do something different, because what they're doing right now just isn't working. And I know they left some points on the field in Charlotte, but you could look at it glass half full and say it that way, or you could say they scored 10 points when the game was already over to get them to 19. So, it didn't, and what they did last week didn't work outside of that trick play. Rajay got going on a drive a little bit in the second half. So, talked to a few folks on this pregame show that had said that if the run's working today, stick with that. I mean, that is Mike Houston's MO, but if you're getting in those third and longs, you're going to need to open it up on first and second down in the passing game. So, Pirates have a lot of work to do on that side of the ball. We know that.
Yeah. Winning first down, play action. I think and again, protecting the quarterback, it's nothing that's ever really great secrets when it comes to football. You just have to find those ways that will work. And, here we go. that sounds like the fifth quarter call-in show. ECU loses tonight.
No, this is a great segue. This is the first true road game for ECU. They got to keep their heads about them with the noise in the background, Brian.
There you go. And maybe sometimes you have those rallying points. Sometimes you go on the road and you do bond a little bit more, and you have your backs against the wall and concentrate a little bit more. So, look, it's a hostile West Virginia environment. It's going to be certainly interesting to see how they respond. And, look, they got to win first down. They've got to get play action pass. They've got to find easier plays here. Tyler Snead's got to get more involved. The tight end needs to get more involved. I mean, we could all sit there and go through the checklist. We're not the coaches of the team. They know them better than we do, but it really comes back to ultimately the offensive line, the running backs picking up blitzes, little things like that. You give Holton Ahlers time to throw, he's a really good quarterback. I think we've seen that in the past.
Brian North joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. Brian, a quick note on the defense, which played well last week, but you got a 2-dimensional offense today, not a 1-dimensional offense like South Carolina. But Blake Harrell's guys playing with more confidence. I'm interested to see how they do in passing situations today. They were not able to get to Chase Bryce week 1 on the blitz. We'll see if they can get home tonight, because if we know anything about Blake Harrell, he's going to keep being aggressive. We know that.
Yeah. Well, difference between SEC offensive lines and Conference USA offensive lines, and we'll see if that makes a difference. I think there's a little bit better matchup with the type of athlete you put on the field. When you play SEC teams, even if South Carolina is not very good, they still have big offensive and defensive linemen, some who will be NFL draft picks. When you get to these leagues that are not in the Power 5, that's where you're going to notice the difference is the quality of offensive and defensive linemen. So maybe there's a better matchup there with ECU's defense where they can pick on that Marshall offensive line a little bit more. Or maybe they're like App State and they have 6-year seniors across the board.
Yeah.
Don't know. I know they played well, but I think that the caliber of teams that they've played, ECU, I think, certainly can give them some things that maybe they haven't seen so far this year.
Brian North joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. North, we mentioned Duke all over Northwestern as they get ready to head to the locker room, but it looks like Duke might want to tack on some more points. They're up 27-7 right now as they have a minute left, and Duke is driving. Coming up tonight, North Carolina and Virginia, and you caution Tar Heel fans that maybe look at the line and say, all right, we're going to win this one tonight pretty convincingly. Virginia and Bronco Mendenhall has had their number, right?
Yeah, they had 4 in a row. They've beaten them, and the last 2 years it's been in the last drive of the game. Last year it was UNC having to rally. They were down a couple touchdowns, and they had to rally to come back and make it close, and had a chance in the last possession but couldn't get it done. So this is just a rivalry in a series, the oldest rivalry in the South, where Virginia has always just seemed to have either North Carolina's number or is right in that game. Rarely does UNC blow out UVA in these games, and so I'm expecting another close one between these two tonight. I think UVA is one of those quiet teams like Wake Forest that people aren't paying a ton of attention to early on in the season, but they've slowly built maybe not the super sexy high draft pick team that a lot of people want, but they're doing it a good college football style, and all of a sudden you look at the board and they're undefeated 4 games into the season.
Brian, also kind of recapping our conversation from yesterday, you said Florida State, after a brutal loss to Notre Dame, another brutal one to Jacksonville State, do they fold up shop, or do they say, all right, let's get this thing going, let's go on a run here? Looks like it's the former. Wake Forest got out 14-0 early. Florida State has put 14 on the board, but they trailed 27-14 heading to the locker room in Winston-Salem.
Underrated Wake Forest team. I keep telling people they've got 30-something starters back on this team, or 30-something lettermen back in this team, and a bunch of starters, including their quarterback. And again, Wake Forest is one of those teams that doesn't get a lot of attention because they don't have a rabid fan base and their history and maybe their style. But if you know a little bit about football in the ACC, this is the Wake Forest team I still think is overlooked by a lot of people, and I think they'll open a few eyes tonight just because it's a name brand school that they're beating. But I think they've been set up for success all year long, and Dave Clawson's done a quietly nice job. He's like, he's the second version of the coach they had a couple years ago who led them to the ACC championship game. So it's Jim Grobe. He's Jim Grobe.
Jim Grobe, yeah.
Yeah, he's just kind of quietly put together a successful team with good lines and some good skill players. They've done a good job recruiting some skill players who they really develop into top caliber talent.
North, appreciate the chat. We'll let you get back to fathering and enjoying some football on the TV, or on the computer, I should say, with Facebook tonight. And we'll talk to you again soon, man. Have a great rest of your weekend.
You do the same, Clippy. Enjoy your NFL Sunday as well, since your team has already played.
My team are winners. By the way, I love the Panthers money line tomorrow, so make sure you take the Saints.
Okay, I'll put the rest of my mortgage on it.
There you go. You're welcome. There is Brian North joining us today on the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Let's take a timeout. We'll come back. It's prediction time. It's fantasy time. Shirley Rhodes, we're doing Make It Take It this year. So Shirley doesn't have to pick because she was last week's winner with Tyler Snead. I won week 1 with Keaton Mitchell. Shirley won last week with Tyler Snead. Chandler and I will make our picks to try to knock Shirley off the throne. We'll do that and make some predictions when we return on the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. We roll on after this.
This is Dr. Phil Perdue with Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. My colleagues and I recognize how difficult this time is for everyone in our community. We continue to see patients during the week while taking precautions to keep everyone safe. Our extended care clinic is now open on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. so you can avoid the emergency department for your urgent orthopedic care. For more information, please contact us at 757-2663 or visit our website at orthoeast.com.
On Saturdays, your team needs you, your sofa needs you, and you need a Jersey Mike's sub. Get it all with free Saturday delivery when you order through the Jersey Mike's app. Jersey Mike's, a sub above. This Saturday, while you watch the game at home, we're watching the grill at Jersey Mike's. Order through the Jersey Mike's app for free delivery on Saturdays, unless you're going to miss hearing this. Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
You know, anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those. But anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
When a storm hits, you can count on Greenville Utilities. They put their emergency storm plan into action to restore power as quickly and safely as possible. If you experience an outage, call them toll-free at 1-855-767-2482. The automated hotline can handle a large number of calls at once, virtually eliminating busy signals, so help can be on the way as fast as possible. Remember, GUC's emergency hotline number is 1-855-767-2482.
This is former ECU football player Bryce Williams, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, and proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Watch all of Pirate Radio's local programming on YouTube Live. Go to YouTube, search for Pirate Radio TV, and subscribe. Watch Pirate Radio Live Monday through Friday from 3 until 6. And you can also watch the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate and the U.S. Cellular fifth quarter on game days as well. Just go to YouTube and search Pirate Radio TV and click on that subscribe button. Now let's head back in to the Bud Light Pregame Tailgate. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
All right, give the Florida Gators all the credit in the world. It looked like this was going to be a rout. They have scored another touchdown. Yeah, I guess he's in. And Florida has cut it to 6. And with this extra point, could cut it to 5 on our Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard. Extra point is good. It is 21-16 Alabama. 10:20 left to go in the third quarter.
Uh-oh.
Things getting interesting.
It's getting swampy in the swamp.
In Gainesville, yes, indeed. All right, looking at some other scores real quick. As I mentioned a moment ago, Wake Forest has a 27-14 lead. That one now in the third quarter over Florida State. Washington State and USC are tied at 14 in the third quarter in Pullman. Also going on, Kansas State, that's a final. They beat Nevada 38-17. Notre Dame up 27-13 on Purdue. That one in the fourth quarter, so the Irish will win. As I mentioned earlier, that's good for Cincinnati. Now they need Notre Dame to beat Wisconsin next week, and Notre Dame will probably be top 10, top 8. Cincinnati, maybe 6 or 7 in the country, so that would be a showdown in South Bend if all that comes to fruition. Ohio State, this is a weird score. Ohio State's up 13-6 on Tulsa. Tulsa's 0-2. Tulsa lost to Oklahoma State last week and lost to FCS. What is that? UC Davis. Didn't even know who the school was. Lost to them week 1. They are hanging around with Ohio State. Ohio State having a hangover from their loss to Oregon last week, I guess. Other action going on. Baylor all over Kansas, 28-7 as that score. Appalachian State just scored again. They lead 26-3 on Elon. And Clemson, Georgia Tech still in a delay. I guess we got, lightning or something going on?
Well, the last report I got, there was lightning in the area. There was about 30 seconds left in the first half. They took them off the field, and I don't know if my assumption is they have not returned to the field.
Duke adds a field goal. How about 30-7 at halftime over Northwestern Mississippi State in the halftime locker room, up 17-7 against Memphis. A look at your Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard, brought to you by Da Buck.
Da Buck.
All right, let's do fantasy first, and then we will do predictions, score predictions. We'll go around the horn here. Week 1, I had Keaton Mitchell, so I won. He had the most points among our draft picks. So that means last week I had Keaton Mitchell. Shirley drafted Tyler Snead, and Shirley was a winner. thanks to the long touchdown pass to Josiah Hatfield. So Chandler Shirley already has her selection. Tyler Snead once again. Who are you picking?
Well, she has Tyler Snead, and, we were talking about the involvement of him and C.J. Johnson. I want to see involvement with C.J. I want to see him get separation, and I want to see him get at least 6 receptions today and put up and get a couple of touchdowns. Give me C.J. Johnson.
All right, dealing with an injury last week, according to Jeff Charles, and you hope that is squared away today, and we can finally get a C.J. Johnson game. We have been waiting on one for a while, and hopefully today is that day. That leaves me, got to go with a running back here, and it's just a matter of Rajay or Keaton Mitchell. We are due for a Rajay Harris touchdown, but since we're playing fantasy and receptions count as points, I think I'm going to go back to the Keaton Mitchell well for the 3rd straight week.
I don't blame you.
And hope he can break another long screenplay. So I will go Keaton Mitchell, but I do think Rajay Harris finds the end zone today for the Pirates and scores. I thought he was last week, and I guess so did South Carolina, which is why Holton Ahlers was able to easily take it in for a touchdown there near the goal line. All right, so Snead for Shirley, Mitchell for me, and CJ for Chandler. Let's get some score predictions. I've had a score in mind all week, and I'm going to keep it. I'm ready to go. What are y'all's scores for this game?
I'm going to go...
Take your time.
I'm going to go...
Just 2 numbers. Well, technically, I need, multiple digits.
Right. At least. I am going to go...
Maybe three.
I'm going to go 30-27.
You could do 2.
Marshall. I hate to do it.
30-27. Masha.
I don't want to do it. I hate to do it, but
all right, Chandler.
I think it's going to come down to that.
I think this might be a sweep for Marshall because I think I know Clip is going with Marshall. I'm going with Marshall with the 10 points, 38-28.
All right, and it's 10.5, so both of you guys are on the Pirates as far as the spread goes.
That's right. I forgot it went up.
What was it?
38-28.
38-28.
I mean, I hope I'm wrong, but
earlier I said that the Pirates would put up 28 points today.
I've had Marshall by 13-14 all week, and I'm going to settle on Marshall 37, East Carolina 23 for a 14-point victory. 37-23 Marshall is my prediction for this game. Total sitting at 58. Shirley's just under that. Chandler is over, and I am over. That would be 60. Yeah, so there you go.
Earlier we were talking, you asked me how does East Carolina score their points today, and I said, well, the offense is probably going to have to get some help from the defense when it comes to field position, whether that's a fumble or a pick. But we have talked about it all week. Marshall does turn the ball over, so let's see if the Pirate defense can force some turnovers and set this offense up to put some points on the board.
Nobody click on those spam links that are coming in for the game.
Yes. I've seen them all over the place.
Make sure you click on the one that I included earlier in the chat, and I will post it one more time, the Facebook link to watch this game, because I don't want your computer to blow up at home. Blown up, as Mark Lindsay said once. It'll be on Facebook.com/live CUSA. That is where the game will be on Facebook Live. All right, as we begin to wrap this one up, Florida, before the kickoff, tune over to CBS. Alabama's got the ball 2nd and 12, but the Swamp is getting into this thing. Bama does have it on the 30-yard line. Want to say thank you to Cucinalla's for the awesome pregame meal, both the food and the gelato and Italian ice. They hooked us up with some great pizza pies, and you can find that on Old Tar Road across from Plant & C, and go to cucinellas.com. They're on Facebook and Instagram as well. Thanks to all of our guests. Thanks to you folks for tuning in and chiming in on today's program. Mark says the video feed has just started, so I tell you what, you can cut our feed on Facebook Live and go over to the game feed and then come back to us after the game on the U.S. Cellular fifth quarter call-in show. Myself, Shirley, Chan Man, Big Dog, and Billy Weaver will be alongside for the U.S. Cellular fifth quarter call-in show immediately following the conclusion of ECU and Marshall. Thanks for tuning in to the Bud Light pregame tailgate, brought to you by Bud Light. Our stats brought to you by UBE and PirateWear.com. And, of course, we had the Orthopedics East injury report for you as well, and all our scores on the Buccaneer Music Hall scoreboard. We'll be with you after the game on the U.S. Cellular fifth quarter call-in show. For the crew here at Pirate Radio, I am Clip Brock. Go Pirates!
You've been listening to the Bud Light pregame tailgate, powered by Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates. Stay tuned and join us after the game for a complete recap and your phone calls on the U.S. Cellular fifth quarter call-in show, right here on Pirate Radio.